Chapter 1. The Power of Passion and Perseverance. Success is often viewed as a grand achievement, a singular moment when everything falls into place. But in reality, success is the accumulation of small, deliberate actions taken consistently over time. It is found in the day-to-day efforts, the quiet dedication to long-term goals that unfold gradually. This is where passion plays its most crucial role. Passion is not merely excitement. It is the enduring commitment to a goal, the drive to keep going, even when the path is unclear or the rewards distant. At the heart of grit is passion, and this passion is what keeps you moving forward. It's the constant fuel that propels you, even when external forces may try to sway your focus. It is the silent voice inside that whispers, "Keep going." When you are passionate about something, it no longer feels like a task or obligation. It becomes a calling, a deeper sense of purpose that aligns your heart and mind with your goal. Think of a musician practicing day after day, hour after hour. It's not the promise of fame or recognition that drives them, but the love of the music itself. This passion enables them to keep playing, to keep practicing, even when they encounter setbacks or experience periods of frustration. In the same way, true passion for your craft, your goal, or your mission will sustain you through times of challenge and difficulty. It is the passion that gives you the strength to push through the tough times, to keep going when the world around you may suggest that you should give up. However, passion alone is not enough. Passion without perseverance is a fleeting fire that burns out too quickly. While passion sets the stage for success, it is perseverance that ensures the performance. Perseverance is the quiet force that sustains you when the initial excitement begins to fade. It's the inner strength that drives you to continue, even when the results are not immediately visible and when the path becomes difficult. This is why passion must be paired with perseverance. The understanding that the road to success is long, often arduous, and rarely linear. There will be setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt. The important thing is to stay committed to your vision, even when things don't go according to plan. Your passion will light the way, but it is perseverance that will carry you through the dark nights of uncertainty. The key to perseverance is developing a mindset that does not shy away from obstacles, but instead faces them head. It is the ability to view failure not as a roadblock, but as a necessary part of the process. With passion in your heart and perseverance in your bones, you will begin to see every setback as an opportunity to learn, grow, and refine your approach. This is where the power of grit becomes apparent. It's not the number of times you fall, but the number of times you rise again. In this way, perseverance strengthens not only your body and mind, but also your character. It's about showing up, not just when things are easy, but when they are difficult. The effort to continue, despite the odds, is what defines you. It's the refusal to give up when the journey seems endless and the victory feels out of reach. Perseverance is an inner strength that keeps you grounded in the knowledge that success does not belong to the quickest, the smartest, or the most naturally talented. It belongs to those who refuse to quit, who keep going when others give up, who find meaning in the long, difficult journey. Your journey to success will not be defined by the moments of triumph, but by the quiet persistence that has brought you there. Success is not a destination but a process, a path, forged in the small, repeated actions that you take, even when the world is silent, even when the results are not immediately visible. It is the passion that fuels your vision and the perseverance that carries you through the hardest parts of the journey. Perseverance is the key that unlocks your ability to achieve greatness. It's the willingness to keep going, even when the path seems endlessly challenging. When setbacks arise, perseverance is what gives you the strength to rise again. It's the ability to weather the storms of doubt and difficulty, knowing that the sun will eventually shine through. And when the storms seem too harsh to endure, perseverance whispers to you, one more step, just one more step. There is a powerful distinction between effort and talent. Talent may provide a strong foundation, but it is effort, the perseverance to keep trying, keep working, and keep refining that leads to long-term success. As Angela Duckworth explains in Grit, talent is only one part of the equation. It is effort, applied consistently over time, that truly leads to mastery. The key to success is not just doing something well once, but continuing to do it well, again and again, without losing sight of the bigger picture. Perseverance is the key that unlocks your ability to achieve greatness. It's the willingness to keep going, even when the path seems endlessly challenging. When setbacks arise, Perseverance is what gives you the strength to rise again. It's the ability to weather the storms of doubt and difficulty, knowing that the sun will eventually shine through. And when the storms seem too harsh to endure, perseverance whispers to you, one more step, just one more step. Consider the journey of an athlete training for the Olympics. They do not become champions overnight. They dedicate years of their life to rigorous training, facing countless moments of pain, exhaustion, and doubt. But despite these obstacles, their perseverance carries them through. They keep training, keep improving, because they know that success is built on the foundation of persistent effort. In the same way, the path to your own success is forged through perseverance. It is the decision to keep going even when the results are not immediate, to trust that each small action brings you closer to your goal. Perseverance also requires a mindset that is willing to embrace the process. It is easy to become discouraged when the results are not as immediate as you hoped, but true perseverance is about committing to the journey, not the destination. When you focus on the process, the setbacks become less daunting because you understand that each step is part of your growth. You begin to embrace the discomfort, the struggle, and the difficulty, knowing that they are not obstacles, but opportunities for development. Building grit is not about avoiding failure. It's about learning from failure and continuing to move forward. In fact, failure is often the greatest teacher. It teaches resilience, patience, and the art of adjusting your approach. Every failure holds within it a lesson, a key that, if you are willing to learn, will bring you closer to your ultimate goal. Perseverance is the belief that failure is not final, but merely a temporary setback. When you combine passion with perseverance, you create something far greater than a fleeting dream. You create the foundation for success. It is not just the desire to achieve your goal that matters, but the commitment to stay on the path, regardless of the challenges you face. Passion ignites the fire, but perseverance keeps the fire burning. Together, they form the essence of grit, the quiet yet powerful force that will carry you to the finish line. No matter how long or difficult the journey may be, the journey of grit is one of continuous learning and adapting. Every setback is a stepping stone, each failure a lesson. It's the understanding that nothing in life is truly wasted. Every moment you spend working toward your goal, whether you feel you are succeeding or failing, is moving you closer to mastery. The true power of grit lies not in avoiding obstacles, but in how you meet them with resilience, passion, and unshakable determination. As you continue on your own journey, remember this: grit is not a sprint. It is not a moment of sudden brilliance. Grit is a long-term commitment to the process. It is the belief that through every setback, every difficulty, and every obstacle, you are growing. Each step forward, however small, is progress. And as long as you continue moving forward with passion and perseverance, you will find yourself closer to the success you seek. Chapter 2: Talent versus effort. Success often carries with it the belief that talent alone is the deciding factor. We live in a world where we are constantly exposed to stories of prodigies, individuals who seem to succeed effortlessly, and whose talents appear to be innate, almost magical. It's easy to assume that talent is the secret key that opens the door to achievement. But here lies the essential truth: talent, though valuable, is only a part of the equation. The real driver of success is effort sustained, deliberate effort applied consistently over time. At its core, grit is built upon this simple but profound idea: effort counts twice. Effort is not just the energy you put into something, it's the key ingredient that turns talent into accomplishment. Angela Duckworth, in her research on grit, highlights that the equation for success is simple yet powerful. Talent times effort equals skill, and skill times effort equals achievement. While talent might give you a head start, it is effort that builds skill, and skill that leads to true success. Effort amplifies talent and ultimately transforms it into something meaningful. Consider for a moment the story of a young pianist who has a natural ability to play. At first, the music comes easily to them. They might even receive accolades for their quick learning and impressive technique. However, it's not long before they encounter the limits of their talent. There are new, more challenging pieces of music to master, new skills to develop. Talent alone cannot carry them through these challenges. It is their effort, the hours of practice, the willingness to push through frustration and failure that enables them to grow as a musician. This is where many people falter. Talent can carry you through the initial stages, but it's effort that sustains you in the long haul. Effort gives you the strength to continue when things get difficult, when you no longer feel the rush of excitement or the thrill of newness. This is when perseverance becomes essential, when the joy of success seems distant and the road feels uncertain. Effort also leads to mastery. No one becomes truly skilled in something without putting in the hours, the work, and the practice. It's easy to look at successful people and assume that their achievements were effortless. But behind every success story is an untold amount of unseen effort, hours spent refining skills, learning from failure, and staying dedicated even when success seemed far out of reach. Consider athletes training for the Olympics. Many are born with exceptional abilities, but it is the relentless training and effort that transforms them into world-class competitors. They train daily, pushing themselves to improve, perfecting their skills, and enduring physical and mental exhaustion. The effort they put in each day far outweighs the raw talent they were born with. Their success isn't just due to their physical gifts, but to their commitment to giving their best every day. No matter how difficult or tiring the process may be, talent alone cannot take you to the highest level of success. Without effort, talent is nothing more than untapped potential. Effort is what refines that potential, what molds it into skill. And skill, in turn, is the foundation for achievement. The more effort you put in, the greater your skill becomes, and the more likely you are to succeed. But what does effort look like in practice? Effort is not just about working hard for a short period of time. It is about consistency. It is about showing up day after day, even when the work is tedious, even when progress seems slow, and even when the results are not immediate. Effort means continuing to work towards your goal, even when the finish line is not in sight and you feel like giving up. It is the discipline to continue pushing yourself, to continue learning, and to continue growing. There is no magic formula for success. Success is not about being the smartest, the most talented, or the most gifted. It is about the quiet, persistent effort you invest in your goals. Talent may give you a head start, but it is effort that carries you across the finish line. It is effort that helps you overcome obstacles, bounce back from setbacks, and continue to progress, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. Effort, however, is not always easy. There will be times when you feel exhausted, when you doubt whether all the work is worth it. But it is in these moments, when the journey seems hardest, that your grit will be tested. It is your ability to continue putting in effort, even when the road is difficult, that will ultimately determine your success. If you want to cultivate grit, the first step is to embrace effort as an essential part of the process. Understand that you will not always see immediate results, and that's okay. Trust the process, trust the effort you're putting in, and believe that each step you take is bringing you closer to your goal. With perseverance, passion, and effort, you will turn your talent into skill, and your skill into achievement. Talent is often glorified as the ultimate trait required for success, but this view distorts the true nature of achievement. While talent can provide an initial advantage, it is effort that truly makes the difference. This is the key lesson from Angela Duckworth's research. Talent alone is insufficient. It is through sustained, deliberate effort that we cultivate skill and mastery, transforming our inherent abilities into tangible achievements. To understand the significance of effort in relation to talent, consider the analogy of an uncut diamond. The diamond, in its raw form, is beautiful and valuable, but it is only through the meticulous effort of a skilled jeweler that it is shaped into its full potential. Similarly, talent is the raw material, and effort is the refining process that allows talent to shine. Without the consistent effort to develop and hone our skills, talent remains dormant and unrealized. One of the most powerful aspects of effort is its cumulative nature. It is not about making big, grand gestures all at once. Instead, it is about the small, incremental actions taken every day. These actions may not seem significant in isolation, but over time, they compound into something far greater. It's easy to become discouraged when results are not immediate. But remember that every effort you make, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to your goal. This is where the idea of deliberate practice comes into play. Deliberate practice is a concept coined by psychologist Anders Ericsson, and it emphasizes the importance of purposeful, focused effort in skill development. Unlike regular practice, which may be done casually or out of habit, deliberate practice is intentional. It involves pushing yourself beyond your current limits, continuously seeking improvement and embracing discomfort. It's about recognizing that mastery is a journey, and that journey requires consistent, focused effort on any field, whether it be sports, music, business, or academia. There are countless examples of people who may not have been born with extraordinary talent but achieved greatness through persistent effort. Take, for instance, the story of Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors in history. Edison was not known for having extraordinary intellectual gifts, but his work ethic was unparalleled. He famously said, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." Edison's relentless effort to experiment, fail, and learn from his mistakes was the driving force behind his innovations. Similarly, in the world of sports, we see examples of athletes who may not have been born with natural ability, but achieved greatness through years of hard work and effort. Michael Jordan, widely regarded as one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was famously cut from his high school basketball team. Rather than giving up, he used this setback as motivation to work even harder. His success was not due to innate talent, but to his unmatched effort and dedication to improvement. He practiced tirelessly, learning from every game, and honing his skills until he became the legend we know today. These examples highlight an important truth. Effort is the great equalizer. It levels the playing field between those who are born with talent and those who must work to develop their skills. While talent may give someone a head start, it is the effort they put in that determines their ultimate success. Without effort, talent remains untapped and potential is wasted. Furthermore, effort is the only thing within our control. While we cannot always control the circumstances of our birth or the inherent talents we possess, we can control the amount of effort we put into our goals. Effort is the great equalizer because it is the one factor that anyone can choose to invest in, regardless of their starting point. Whether you are naturally gifted or not, you have the ability to choose to work hard, to practice deliberately, and to persevere when things get difficult. Effort also provides us with resilience. In the pursuit of any meaningful goal, obstacles and setbacks are inevitable. Talent alone will not protect you from failure, but effort allows you to develop the resilience needed to overcome these challenges. Every setback, every failure, is an opportunity to learn and grow. With effort, you can turn your mistakes into stepping stones, continuously improving and adjusting your approach. This is where passion and perseverance work together to fuel your efforts. Passion provides the motivation to keep going when things get tough, and perseverance ensures that you keep taking action, even when the rewards are not immediate. The combination of passion and effort creates a cycle of progress, where each step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your ultimate goal. The truth is that the path to success is rarely linear. There will be ups and downs, moments of progress, and periods of stagnation. But if you continue to invest effort into your goals, you will eventually see results. Success is not a matter of waiting for the perfect moment or waiting for talent to magically manifest. It is about showing up every day, putting in the work, and trusting that each small effort will eventually lead to mastery. In the end, the most successful people are not always the ones with the greatest talent, but the ones who are willing to put in the most effort. They understand that talent alone will not carry them to their goals. It is effort, persistence, and dedication to improvement that will ultimately lead to achievement. Talent may open the door, but it is effort that keeps it open. Chapter 3: The Psychology of Grit. At the heart of grit lies a psychological understanding of persistence, how the mind reacts to challenges, failure, and success. It's not enough to simply know that effort and passion are necessary for success. You must also understand the psychological mechanisms that drive these qualities, especially when things get difficult. Grit is more than just a characteristic. It's a mental framework, a mindset that allows individuals to push through adversity. And it all begins with the way you view effort, failure, and progress. One of the core aspects of grit is the ability to stay committed to long-term goals, regardless of the obstacles that arise. This is where psychology plays a critical role. The ability to maintain focus and motivation over an extended period requires mental resilience. It is the understanding that challenges, even failures, are an integral part of the process. This mindset shifts seeing failure not as a reflection of your inability but as a stepping stone to successes, a hallmark of grit. Research has shown that those with grit approach failure differently from others. Where most people see a setback as evidence of their inadequacy, gritty individuals see it as a temporary obstacle. They view challenges as opportunities to learn, grow, and develop new skills. This psychological resilience is what allows them to persist long after others have given up. They have internalized the idea that growth happens through struggle, and therefore, they embrace adversity rather than shy away from it. Consider the story of the great inventor Thomas Edison. He famously failed over 1,000 times before successfully inventing the light bulb. However, Edison never viewed these failures as evidence of incompetence. Instead, he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This mindset allowed Edison to maintain his focus and keep experimenting until he found the right solution. His grit was built upon a psychological framework that viewed failure not as defeat, but as a lesson that brought him closer to his goal. This type of mental resilience doesn't come naturally to everyone. It is developed through practice, self-reflection, and a willingness to grow from challenges. Grit is, in many ways, a learned skill. Research in psychology and neuroscience has shown that the brain is capable of rewiring itself based on new experiences. This plasticity means that we can train ourselves to become grittier, to develop mental toughness through sustained effort and reflection. A key aspect of developing grit is adopting a growth mindset, a term coined by psychologist Carol Dweck. A growth mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence are not fixed traits, but can be developed through effort and learning. People with a growth mindset are more likely to embrace challenges, persist through difficulties, and ultimately achieve higher levels of success. In contrast, those with a fixed mindset believe that their abilities are static, and as a result, they may give up more easily in the face of adversity. The growth mindset is essential for cultivating grit, because it encourages individuals to see their efforts as investments in their future success. When you adopt a growth mindset, failure is not a reflection of your abilities, but an opportunity for learning. This shift in thinking allows you to see setbacks as part of the journey, rather than signs that you're on the wrong path. However, adopting a growth mindset alone is not enough. Grit also requires you to stay committed to your goals even when the path gets tough. This is where perseverance comes into play. It's easy to stay motivated when everything is going smoothly, but true grit is demonstrated when you continue to push forward despite facing obstacles. The psychology of perseverance involves a deep sense of purpose and a clear understanding of why your goal matters. The more deeply you connect with the reasons behind your goal, the more motivation you'll have to continue working toward it, even when it seems like the finish line is out of reach. Part of the psychology of grit is also about managing emotional responses to challenges. Gritty individuals tend to be emotionally resilient. They know how to regulate their emotions, especially in moments of stress or failure. Instead of being overwhelmed by frustration or disappointment, they use these feelings as fuel to continue moving forward. Emotional resilience is a learned skill, and it can be developed by practicing mindfulness, self-awareness, and self-compassion. When you are able to acknowledge your emotions without letting them control your actions, you can maintain your focus and keep working toward your long-term goals. The power of grit also lies in its ability to develop over time. It is not something you are born with, but rather something you cultivate through life's challenges. The more you face adversity and continue to push forward, the stronger your grit becomes. This is why grit is often associated with long-term success. It is not the initial burst of effort that determines whether you will succeed, but your ability to keep going when the excitement wears off, when the setbacks pile up, and when the end seems too far away. This is why it is essential to build grit into your daily life. Start by committing to small, daily tasks that align with your long-term goals. When you encounter challenges, instead of viewing them as obstacles, see them as opportunities to build your resilience and perseverance. Over time, this consistent effort will lead to progress. The process itself becomes part of the journey, and your ability to persist through hardships will grow. You will develop the psychological resilience needed to stay on track, regardless of the obstacles you face. As you continue on the path of grit, it becomes clear that psychological resilience is not just a mental attribute. It is a way of engaging with the world. It requires an unwavering belief that your efforts will eventually pay off, even when the results are not immediately visible. This belief, however, is not built on blind optimism. It is founded on experience, the repeated recognition that perseverance leads to improvement, This is where the psychology of grit intertwines with the principle of deliberate practice. Deliberate practice, a term introduced by K. Anders Ericsson, is key to developing mastery in any field. Unlike casual practice, deliberate practice requires focused effort on improving specific aspects of your performance, often targeting weaknesses or areas where you feel challenged. It is through this intentional practice that you gain skills and refine them over time. The importance of deliberate practice cannot be overstated. It is the vehicle through which your perseverance turns into tangible, measurable progress. The psychology of grit is about more than just keeping your head down and working hard. It's about intentional effort to improve, day by day. Gritty individuals do not shy away from challenges. They actively seek out opportunities to stretch themselves and push their boundaries. The willingness to fail, to face the discomfort of being outside your comfort zone, is crucial for growth. This is why the most successful people are often those who actively embrace the discomfort of improvement, rather than seeking immediate comfort or ease. What separates those with grit from those without is their ability to find meaning in the process itself. Gritty individuals focus not only on the end goal, but on the incremental steps that lead to that goal. They value the journey as much as the destination. Their motivation is intrinsic. They find satisfaction in the small improvements, the growth they experience in each moment, and the progress they can see in their own development. It is this internal drive, more than any external reward, that sustains them over the long term. The concept of deliberate practice is particularly effective when you combine it with feedback. Gritty individuals seek out feedback, whether it's from coaches, mentors, or their own self-reflection. Feedback provides them with the insight they need to adjust their approach, fine-tune their methods, and continue to progress. Rather than becoming discouraged by criticism, those with grit see it as an opportunity for growth. They view feedback as a gift, an essential part of their journey to mastery. They actively seek ways to improve and adjust their methods accordingly. As you work to develop your own grit, it's important to recognize the role that feedback plays in your growth. Are you open to criticism? Do you seek out constructive feedback from others? Are you willing to learn from your mistakes, or do you avoid them altogether? The willingness to accept feedback and adjust your approach is one of the key psychological traits that gritty individuals possess. It allows them to continuously evolve and adapt, always moving forward, no matter how small the steps. Equally important is the ability to regulate emotions during the course of your pursuit. In the face of challenges, it's natural to experience frustration, disappointment, or even fear. However, gritty individuals do not let these emotions paralyze them. They acknowledge their feelings, but they do not let them dictate their actions. Instead, they maintain their focus on the goal and persevere despite the emotional turbulence. This emotional regulation is a key component of the psychological resilience that defines grit. A significant aspect of grit is the ability to persist without the promise of immediate rewards. Most people are motivated by external validation, recognition from others, praise, or rewards. But gritty individuals derive their motivation from internal sources. The satisfaction of knowing they are getting better, the joy of the process itself, and the deep sense of purpose that comes from pursuing a goal that is meaningful to them. They are not distracted by the lack of immediate recognition or rewards. Instead, they are driven by the belief that their consistent effort will eventually lead to mastery. This is the power of intrinsic motivation. It's the internal fire that fuels your efforts, even when the external world is silent. Gritty individuals possess a profound sense of purpose and clarity about why they are doing what they do. This purpose keeps them focused on the long-term goal and helps them stay motivated, even when the results are slow to materialize. When the rewards do eventually come, they are seen as a natural consequence of the effort that has already been invested, not as the sole reason for continuing. Ultimately, the psychology of grit is about aligning your mind, emotions, and actions with the long-term vision you hold for yourself. It's about cultivating a mindset that views challenges as opportunities for growth, a mentality that embraces discomfort in pursuit of something greater. It is a commitment to the process, not just the outcome, and a recognition that every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. In a world that often prizes instant gratification, grit teaches us the power of patience. It reminds us that true achievement requires time, effort, and a willingness to persevere through the inevitable struggles that come with any worthwhile endeavor. The psychology of grit is not about avoiding hardship or seeking shortcuts. It is about embracing the journey, difficult, slow, and sometimes painful, as the true path to success. As you continue on your own journey, remember that grit is not a fixed trait. It is something that can be cultivated and strengthened over time, through deliberate practice, emotional regulation, and a commitment to your long-term goals. You can develop the psychological resilience needed to achieve your highest aspirations. Keep going, even when the path is unclear, for it is through the quiet persistence of grit that you will ultimately find success. Chapter 4. The Sacred Silence of Manifestation. In the pursuit of any long-term goal, there is a constant tension between effort and surrender. While grit teaches us the importance of perseverance, passion, and hard work, there are moments when the true power of achievement comes not from relentless striving but from embracing the quiet stillness that allows things to unfold. The sacred silence of manifestation is where all efforts converge into alignment with the universe, where the hard work, passion, and commitment finally meet the energy of the world around us. It is the space where we step back and allow our efforts to bear fruit in their own time. Manifestation is often thought of as a mystical or magical process, a sudden, dramatic event where our desires appear before us like gifts from the universe. But the reality of manifestation is far more subtle and profound. True manifestation does not happen in the chaos of our lives or the frenzy of our desires. It happens in the stillness, in the moments when we release control and allow the universe to meet us halfway. In these moments, we find the space to trust the process and the faith that our efforts will indeed bear fruit. The sacred silence of manifestation is about aligning your inner world with your outer desires. It is the practice of tuning into the subtle rhythms of life, of allowing the flow of energy to guide you toward your goals without the need for constant forceful action. Just as a seed must rest in the soil before it can grow, your efforts need time and space to manifest. It is in the quiet acceptance of this truth that true manifestation occurs. This concept may feel counterintuitive, especially in a world that values constant activity, achievement, and visible progress. We are conditioned to believe that success requires hustle, that our dreams can only become reality through relentless action. While action is important, the key to effective manifestation lies in balancing effort with stillness. It is about knowing when to work hard and when to step back and trust that the seeds you've planted are growing, even if you cannot yet see the results. The sacred silence of manifestation is also about cultivating a deep sense of trust in yourself, trust in your efforts, and trust in the timing of the universe. When you let go of the need for immediate results, you create space for your desires to materialize naturally. This does not mean that you abandon your goals or cease working toward them. Rather, it means that you release the need for constant control and allow things to unfold in their own time. The most powerful manifestations often occur when we release our attachment to the outcome and allow the process to unfold naturally. By practicing stillness and embracing the present moment, we align ourselves with the greater flow of the universe, opening the door to possibilities that we might have missed in our frantic pursuit of success. In this quiet, surrendered space, we allow ourselves to receive not just our desires, but also the lessons, the growth, and the wisdom that the universe has to offer. To harness the sacred silence of manifestation, we must first cultivate the inner peace that allows us to trust the process. This inner peace is the foundation upon which all manifestation is built. It is the calm knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. When we come to this place of inner peace, we stop looking for external validation or rushing toward external rewards. We stop forcing outcomes and instead embrace the present moment as an opportunity for growth. In the stillness, we reconnect with the deeper, intuitive part of ourselves. We become more aware of the subtle signals that guide us along our path. These signals may come in the form of inspiration, synchronicity, or quiet nudges that direct our actions in alignment with our true purpose. The sacred silence allows us to hear these whispers of the universe, guiding us toward the right actions and decisions that will lead to our goals. This is where the power of grit meets the power of surrender. While perseverance and passion drive us forward, the sacred silence of manifestation invites us to pause, reflect, and allow the universe to support our efforts. It is in this stillness that we find the courage to trust, the strength to let go, and the wisdom to know when to act and when to wait. To embrace the sacred silence of manifestation, begin by cultivating daily practices of stillness meditation, mindfulness, or simply sitting in silence for a few moments each day. In these moments of quiet, tune into your inner self and listen for the subtle guidance that arises. Trust the process, knowing that each action you take is bringing you closer to your desires. As you cultivate this inner peace, you will begin to see the world around you change. Your efforts will begin to bear fruit, not because of relentless action, but because you have aligned yourself with the natural flow of the universe. In this sacred space, you will find that manifestation is not about pushing, forcing, or striving. It is about being present, being open, and being willing to receive. It is about allowing your passion and perseverance to be guided by the quiet wisdom of your inner self, trusting that, in time, all that you desire will come to you. When you embrace the sacred silence of manifestation, you open yourself to the abundance of the universe, knowing that everything you need is already on its way. In this quiet space of manifestation, there is a subtle, yet powerful shift in perspective. It is a shift from the external world, the need for validation, recognition, and instant gratification, to the internal world of trust, patience, and alignment. When we stop chasing after external outcomes and start listening to our inner voice, we begin to notice that everything we need is already within us, already in motion. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, begins to mirror our inner state, and our desires slowly come to life. The sacred silence allows you to experience the joy of being fully present in your journey. Often, we become so fixated on the destination, the end goal, that we forget to appreciate the small steps along the way. True manifestation is not only about reaching the end goal, but also about becoming the person capable of achieving that goal. The process of becoming is just as important as the destination itself. As you work toward your dreams, you learn, evolve, and grow. Every small step is part of the manifestation process, and when you embrace the journey, you cultivate an appreciation for the present moment, allowing you to align with the flow of abundance. True manifestation also involves an understanding of the law of least effort. The law of least effort is the concept that things manifest most naturally when we align with the natural flow of life, when we are in harmony with the universe, and when we stop forcing things to happen. When you surrender the need to control every outcome, you allow the universe to unfold in its own divine timing. You move away from resistance and embrace the natural flow of energy that surrounds you. This shift from control to surrender opens the door to effortless manifestation. Consider the example of a river. A river does not force its way through the landscape, nor does it fight against the rocks or obstacles in its path. Instead, it flows effortlessly around obstacles, carving its way through the land. The river's journey is not about force, but about surrendering to the natural flow of the environment. Similarly, when we stop forcing outcomes and embrace the flow of our desires, we move more easily toward our goals. We let go of resistance, trusting that everything will come in its own time. Embracing the sacred silence also means releasing the grip of anxiety and doubt. Doubt often arises when we become attached to specific outcomes or timelines. We begin to worry that our efforts will go unrewarded, that we are wasting time, or that we are not doing enough. These feelings of doubt and anxiety arise from the fear of not being in control. However, when we embrace the sacred silence, we trust that everything is unfolding as it should. We let go of the need to see immediate results and place our faith in the process. This is where patience plays a crucial role in manifestation. Patience is not passive waiting. It is an active trust in the universe. It is the understanding that everything has its own rhythm, its own time to bloom. When we learn to wait patiently, we allow the universe to align with our desires, trusting that what is meant for us will come at the perfect time. Patience is not about sitting idly by, but about maintaining faith while continuing to take deliberate action toward our goals. The act of manifesting in silence also requires us to release any attachment to the outcome. It is not about forcing the universe to conform to our desires, but about aligning ourselves with what we truly need. Often, we get so focused on the how of our desires, how exactly they will manifest, when they will arrive, that we forget to remain open to the what and why. Instead of clinging to a specific form or timeline, we learn to trust that the universe knows what is best for us and will bring forth the perfect outcome in its own time. The sacred silence of manifestation is also an invitation to be present with what is. When we stop rushing toward the future, when we stop striving for the next thing, we begin to see the beauty and abundance that is already present in our lives. The more we practice gratitude and appreciation for what we have now, the more we create space for the universe to bring us what we truly desire. In this sacred space of stillness, we release the need to control, and in doing so, we invite abundance and joy into our lives. When we manifest from a place of inner peace, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life. We stop pushing against the current and allow the current to carry us toward our destination. We trust that, in time, everything we desire will unfold in perfect harmony with the universe. The sacred silence is where our inner world aligns with the outer world, where our efforts meet divine timing, and where our desires become reality. Manifestation is not about a single, dramatic event. It is about the quiet, patient, and persistent unfolding of our dreams. By embracing the sacred silence of manifestation, we open ourselves to the possibilities that the universe has to offer. We release control, trust the process, and allow the magic of the universe to work in our favor. Chapter 5: Energy Work and the Law of Divine Timing. The universe operates in its own rhythm, a constant flow of energy that shapes every aspect of existence. Every action, every thought, and every emotion is a vibration that contributes to this greater cosmic dance. In our journey toward success, we are not merely moving through time in a linear fashion. We are aligning ourselves with the energy of the universe. The key to unlocking our potential lies in understanding how to work with this energy and align ourselves with divine timing. The natural flow of events and circumstances that unfold when we are in harmony with the universe. Energy work is about consciously cultivating and directing the energy that flows through us. It is an ancient practice that spans across cultures, from the concept of qi in Chinese medicine to prana in Ayurvedic healing. In essence, energy work teaches us how to tap into the unseen forces that govern our lives, channeling them in ways that support our goals, our well-being, and our connection with the world around us. The first step in energy work is recognizing that we are all energetic beings, constantly interacting with the energy around us. Our thoughts, emotions, and intentions send out ripples into the universe. Whether we are aware of it or not, our energy is influencing the world. The power of intention is particularly significant in this process. When we set clear intentions and align them with our actions, we create a focused energy that directs the flow of our lives. This alignment is essential for manifestation. Without intention, our energy becomes scattered, and the universe cannot respond in a meaningful way. One of the primary principles of energy work is the idea of coherence, bringing our mind, body, and spirit into alignment with the universe. When we are in a state of coherence, we are no longer fighting against the current of life, but are flowing with it. Our energy is in harmony with the greater cosmic flow, and as a result, we are able to manifest our desires with ease. This is where the law of divine timing comes into play. Divine timing is the understanding that everything unfolds in its own perfect time. Just as the seed takes time to grow into a full bloom, our goals and desires require time to materialize. The universe operates according to its own timing, and this timing is often different from our own. We may want things to happen on our own schedule, but divine timing teaches us that there is a greater wisdom at work. When we align with this timing, we are able to manifest with ease and grace, without resistance or struggle. The challenge, however, is learning to trust in divine timing. In a world that prioritizes instant gratification and immediate results, it can be difficult to wait. We often want things to happen quickly, and when they don't, we become frustrated or discouraged. But divine timing is a reminder that everything happens in its own time. Trusting in divine timing is about surrendering the need to control the outcome and allowing the universe to work on our behalf. Energy work and divine timing are intimately connected. When we are aligned with the flow of energy, we are also aligned with the natural timing of the universe. This means that we are no longer forcing outcomes or rushing toward our goals. Instead, we are creating the conditions for success to unfold naturally. By staying present, remaining patient, and continuing to direct our energy with intention, we allow the universe to bring forth the perfect circumstances at the perfect time. One of the key practices in energy work is mindfulness. Being mindful allows us to become more aware of the energy we are sending out into the world. It helps us to recognize when our energy is scattered or out of alignment, and it provides the tools to bring it back into harmony. Through mindfulness, we can also become more attuned to the subtle signals and synchronicities that the universe sends our way. These signals are often the universe's way of guiding us toward our highest good, and when we are in tune with the energy around us, we are better able to follow these cues. Meditation is another powerful tool in energy work. Through meditation, we can quiet the mind and connect with the deeper currents of the universe. Meditation allows us to enter a state of stillness, where we can align with the flow of energy and tap into our inner wisdom. It is in this space of silence that we can hear the whispers of the universe, guiding us toward the next steps in our journey. Another important aspect of energy work is the practice of grounding. Grounding is the act of connecting with the Earth's energy, which helps to stabilize and balance our own energy. When we are grounded, we feel more centered, focused, and aligned with the present moment. Grounding practices, such as walking barefoot on the earth, sitting under a tree, or simply focusing on your breath, help to bring us back to our center and realign us with the natural flow of energy. As we work with energy and align ourselves with divine timing, we begin to notice that things start to fall into place effortlessly. This is not because we are forcing them, but because we are in alignment with the natural rhythm of the universe. When we are in alignment, the universe responds by sending us the right opportunities, the right people, and the right circumstances. This is the magic of divine timing. When we stop forcing, when we let go of our need to control, everything flows into place in its own perfect timing. Energy work and divine timing also teach us the value of patience. It is easy to become discouraged when things are not happening as quickly as we would like. But when we practice patience, we allow the universe the space it needs to bring our desires into fruition. Trust that your efforts are not in vain. Every step you take, every ounce of energy you direct toward your goals, is part of the process. In time, you will see the fruits of your labor, but only if you trust in the timing of the universe. The law of divine timing is not about waiting passively for things to happen. It's about staying in alignment with the flow of energy and taking action when the time is right. It's about trusting that the universe is always working on your behalf, even when you can't see the full picture. By aligning with divine timing and using energy work to direct your intentions, you create the perfect conditions for manifestation. And when the time comes, everything will fall into place effortlessly. In the pursuit of any great goal, we often encounter moments of uncertainty. There may be times when the path forward seems unclear, when the universe appears to be silent, and when we feel as though our efforts are not yielding the results we desire. These are the moments when divine timing is most important. It is in these moments that we must cultivate trust in the process, believing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even if we cannot yet see the full picture. Divine timing teaches us that there is an order to life's events, a sequence of events that must unfold for our desires to manifest in the most harmonious way possible. In our haste, we may try to rush this process, to push things into being before their time. But true manifestation comes when we align ourselves with the natural rhythm of the universe, allowing things to unfold in their own perfect timing. One of the most profound ways to work with energy is to release the need for control and embrace the flow of life. When we surrender to the timing of the universe, we create space for the energy we've been cultivating to move through us without resistance. This surrender is not about giving up. Rather, it is about trusting that our efforts are not in vain and that everything will come to fruition at the right time. By letting go of our attachment to specific outcomes and timelines, we allow the universe to deliver what is best for us. Trusting divine timing also means understanding that not everything is meant to happen in the moment we desire. Sometimes, the universe needs time to arrange the circumstances that will bring us the greatest success. Perhaps there are lessons we need to learn, experiences we need to have, or relationships we need to form before we can fully receive what we seek. The patience that comes with divine timing teaches us to trust that all things will come in their due time, and that there is nothing to rush. That, as we align our energy with divine timing, we must also remain open to the signs, synchronicities, and opportunities that present themselves. The universe speaks to us in subtle ways through our intuition, through unexpected events, and through the people we meet. By staying present and mindful, we become attuned to these messages, which guide us toward the right actions at the right time. It is through these signs that the universe gently nudges us toward the next step on our journey. When we begin to work with energy in this way, we start to notice that things begin to happen effortlessly. Opportunities arise at the right moment, doors open when we least expect them, and the pieces of the puzzle start to come together. This is the magic of divine timing at work. It's not about forcing things into existence, but about aligning ourselves with the natural flow of life, and trusting that everything will unfold in its perfect form. The power of energy work is not limited to the pursuit of external goals. It also affects our internal world, our mental, emotional, and spiritual state. By aligning our energy with divine timing, we begin to heal, grow, and evolve. The more we practice energy work, the more we are able to clear away the blockages and limiting beliefs that stand in the way of our success. We learn to let go of fear, doubt, and impatience, allowing us to become more attuned to our true selves. Energy work is also about creating harmony within ourselves. When our energy is scattered or imbalanced, we may feel disconnected from our purpose or from the universe. But when we cultivate balance, focus, and alignment, we become more connected to our inner wisdom and to the greater flow of life. This harmony creates a powerful force that propels us toward our goals with ease and grace. As we work with energy, we create a deep sense of peace, knowing that we are in perfect alignment with the universe, and that all is unfolding exactly as it should. The beauty of divine timing is that it reminds us that we are not alone in our journey. The universe is always working in our favor, guiding us, supporting us, and helping us achieve our goals. When we trust in divine timing, we acknowledge that everything we need is already on its way to us. We learn to embrace the waiting periods, knowing that the universe is preparing us for the next step. In this way, patience becomes an active practice, not of idleness, but of trust and surrender. As you move forward, remember that you are not bound by the constraints of time. Trust in divine timing. Allow your energy to flow freely and release the need for control. Your efforts are not wasted. Every step you take, every moment you spend aligning your energy with the universe, brings you closer to your goals. The universe is already preparing the perfect conditions for your success, and when the time is right, everything will fall into place. Working with energy and trusting divine timing is not about waiting for things to happen. It is about staying present, staying grounded, and staying aligned with the flow of life. It is about trusting that your efforts will bear fruit when the time is right, and being patient enough to wait for that moment without force or hurry. It is through this practice of surrender, trust, and energy work that you unlock the true power of manifestation. Chapter 6. Solitude is a sacred practice in a world that constantly demands our attention. Where distractions are always just a click away, solitude has become an increasingly rare and sacred practice. Yet, it is in moments of solitude that we often find the deepest clarity and connection to our true selves. Solitude is not about isolation or loneliness, but about finding space to reconnect with our inner voice, to reflect, and to recharge our energy. It is in solitude that we can truly hear the whispers of our soul and align ourselves with our higher purpose. The power of solitude lies in its ability to silence the noise of the outside world. When we are constantly surrounded by others, by the demands of work, social media, and the fast pace of modern life, we can easily lose touch with our own desires, goals, and needs. Solitude provides the space to step back, to clear our minds, and to rediscover what truly matters to us. In this quiet space, we can hear our intuition more clearly, allowing us to make decisions that align with our deepest values. It is through solitude that we also cultivate the mental and emotional resilience needed to persist in our goals. When we are constantly surrounded by external stimuli, we are often reactive, responding to the needs and expectations of others. Solitude, on the other hand, allows us to become more in this state of reflection. We can learn to distinguish between our own thoughts and the influences of others, gaining a deeper understanding of what drives us. Solitude empowers us to make decisions based on our own inner wisdom, rather than being swayed by external pressures. But solitude is not just about reflection, it is also about action. In the stillness of solitude, we find the clarity to make deliberate and intentional choices. It is in these quiet moments that we can tap into our creative potential, problem solve, and make the necessary adjustments to our path. Solitude allows us to focus, to concentrate fully on the task at hand, and to channel our energy toward what truly matters. In this space, we can perform our best work, free from the distractions that often hinder our productivity. One of the most profound aspects of solitude is its ability to foster self-discovery. In the company of others, it's easy to get caught up in the opinions, judgments, and expectations of those around us. But when we are alone, we are free to explore who we truly are, what we truly want, and what we are capable of achieving. Solitude is an opportunity to connect with our deepest desires, to uncover the purpose that drives us, and to learn to trust our own instincts. It is through solitude that we discover our authentic selves, untainted by the influence of others. It is also in solitude that we find the space to heal. Life's challenges, whether they are emotional, physical, or spiritual, can leave us feeling drained and disconnected. Solitude offers a refuge for recovery. In the quiet, we can process our emotions, reflect on our experiences, and allow ourselves to heal at our own pace. It is in these moments of introspection that we can shed the weight of past wounds, releasing old patterns that no longer serve us. Solitude provides the sanctuary needed for personal growth and renewal. There is a sacredness in solitude that allows us to deepen our connection to the divine. Whatever that may mean for you, whether through prayer, meditation, or simply being present in nature, solitude is a time to reconnect with the spiritual aspect of life. In these moments, we can experience a sense of oneness with the universe, feeling the support and guidance of a higher power. It is in solitude that we often find our greatest clarity, inspiration, and peace. In the sacred practice of solitude, we also cultivate patience and self-discipline. In a world that encourages constant movement and busyness, it can be difficult to sit still and be present. Yet, it is in these moments of stillness that we learn to trust the process, to embrace the journey, and to allow things to unfold at their own pace. Solitude teaches us that true progress is not always about rushing forward, but about staying grounded, centered, and aligned with our inner self. The practice of solitude also nurtures creativity. When we are alone with our thoughts, we have the freedom to explore new ideas, to think deeply, and to create without the pressure of external expectations. Many of history's greatest thinkers and artists, people like Albert Einstein, Virginia Woolf, and Leonardo da Vinci, spent significant amounts of time in solitude, using that time to reflect, create, and innovate. Solitude provides the space for us to tap into our creative potential and bring forth ideas that might otherwise remain hidden. In our pursuit of grit, it is essential to embrace solitude as a tool for growth. It is in solitude that we can reflect on our progress, make adjustments to our approach, and find the strength to keep going. When we make time for solitude, we are not retreating from the world, but preparing ourselves to engage with it more fully. Solitude gives us the clarity, energy, and resilience needed to face the challenges of life and to continue moving toward our goals. To begin incorporating solitude into your own life, start by carving out quiet time each day, whether it's 10 minutes in the morning, an hour in the evening, or a weekend retreat. During this time, allow yourself to be present with your thoughts, to disconnect from external distractions, and to simply be. Use this time for reflection, meditation, or creative pursuits. The key is to make solitude a regular practice, allowing it to become a sacred space where you can reconnect with your true self and align with your highest purpose. Embrace solitude as a sacred practice. In the quiet, you will find the answers you seek. In the stillness, you will rediscover your strength, your creativity, and your passion. Solitude is not an escape from the world, but an opportunity to reconnect with it on a deeper level, to recharge your spirit, and to continue your journey with renewed clarity and purpose. The power of solitude lies not only in the time spent alone, but in the space it creates within ourselves. When we are alone, we are given the opportunity to clear away the mental clutter, the distractions, and the noise that fill our lives. This mental clarity is the foundation of true wisdom. Solitude is the sanctuary where we connect with our higher selves, where we shed the layers of external influence and reconnect with what truly matters to us. In solitude, we find the opportunity to cultivate mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, free from judgment or distraction. When we allow ourselves to be fully present in solitude, we create the space for deep awareness. We can observe our thoughts, our feelings, and our reactions without judgment. In this awareness, we come to understand ourselves more fully, and we develop the capacity to respond to life's challenges with wisdom and grace, rather than reacting out of fear or impulse. Through mindfulness in solitude, we also begin to understand the transient nature of our thoughts and emotions. Many of us tend to identify with our thoughts, believing them to be permanent and defining. But in the stillness of solitude, we come to recognize that thoughts and feelings are like clouds passing through the sky, temporary and ever-changing. This realization frees us from the grip of negative thinking, allowing us to experience peace, even in the midst of difficult circumstances. The quiet moments of solitude also serve as a reminder of the importance of self-care. In our fast-paced, external-focused world, we often forget to care for our inner selves. Solitude provides the time and space to nourish our mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. It is a time to check in with ourselves, to listen to our needs, and to restore balance. Just as the body requires rest to heal and regenerate, the soul requires solitude to restore its vitality and sense of purpose. In solitude, we reconnect with the sacredness of life. When we step away from the distractions of the world, we become more attuned to the beauty, the quiet miracles, and the small moments that make life extraordinary. We see the world through a different lens, one that is clear, unhurried, and full of appreciation for the present moment. Solitude reminds us that life is not something to be rushed through, but something to be experienced with reverence and mindfulness. Moreover, solitude allows us to cultivate a sense of inner peace that does not depend on external circumstances. In the quiet, we learn to find contentment within ourselves, rather than seeking fulfillment in the approval of others or the attainment of material success. This inner peace becomes a powerful anchor, keeping us grounded in the face of life's challenges. When we are at peace within ourselves, we are less affected by the turbulence of the world around us, and we can continue to move forward with clarity and purpose. Through solitude, we also reconnect with our creativity. In the busyness of life, it is easy to lose touch with the creative spark that resides within us. Solitude, however, offers the time and space to reconnect with this inner source of inspiration. When we are alone, we are free from the opinions and judgments of others, and our creativity can flow more freely. In solitude, we are more likely to experiment, take risks, and think outside the box. Creativity thrives in the quiet, away from the distractions and limitations of the outside world. Solitude also strengthens our ability to make decisions from a place of clarity and inner knowing. When we are constantly surrounded by noise, it becomes difficult to hear our inner voice. But in solitude, we become more attuned to our intuition, that quiet knowing that guides us toward the right path. Solitude offers us the space to listen deeply to ourselves, to tune in to our values, and to make decisions that align with our true purpose. Another key benefit of solitude is its ability to foster personal growth. It is in the quiet, reflective moments that we begin to see ourselves more clearly. We are able to confront our fears, insecurities, and limiting beliefs without the distractions of the external world. Solitude gives us the courage to face our shadows, to acknowledge our weaknesses, and to work toward healing and growth. It is in solitude that we truly begin to understand who we are and who we are becoming. Solitude is also a time for spiritual connection, whether through prayer, meditation, or simply being in nature. Solitude offers us the opportunity to connect with something greater than ourselves. In these moments, we can experience a profound sense of peace, a feeling of oneness with the universe. Solitude creates the space for us to align with the divine, to feel supported and guided, and to deepen our spiritual practice. It is in solitude that we often receive the greatest insights, the clearest direction, and the deepest sense of purpose. While solitude can feel uncomfortable at times, especially when we are used to constant stimulation and social interaction, it is an essential practice for personal growth and manifestation. It is in solitude that we connect with our truest, most authentic selves, free from the influences and distractions of the outside world. It is in solitude that we create the space for new possibilities to emerge, and for our deepest desires to be revealed. The practice of solitude requires discipline and commitment. It may feel challenging at first, especially in a world that values constant busyness, but as you continue to make solitude a regular part of your life, you will begin to experience the profound benefits it brings. You will find yourself more centered, more focused, and more aligned with your purpose. You will discover that the quiet is not a void, but a wellspring of creativity, peace, and wisdom. To incorporate solitude into your life, start by setting aside small amounts of time each day to be alone with yourself. This could be as simple as taking a walk in nature, sitting in silence for a few minutes, or journaling your thoughts. As you build this practice, you will begin to feel the calming effects of solitude and notice the clarity and insight it brings. Over time, solitude will become a sacred space, a place where you can reconnect with yourself and with the divine flow of life. Embrace solitude as a sacred practice. It is in the quiet moments that you will find the answers you seek, the peace you desire, and the strength you need to continue your journey. Through solitude, you will rediscover your inner wisdom, your creative potential, and your deep connection to the universe. Chapter 7. Transforming obstacles into opportunities. Obstacles are an inevitable part of life. No matter how carefully we plan, how deeply we desire success, or how passionately we pursue our goals, we will inevitably encounter challenges. These challenges can come in many forms: external circumstances, setbacks, failures, or even internal struggles like self-doubt and fear. In our journey toward success, the way we perceive and respond to these obstacles can make all the difference. Grit is not just about persistence in the face of difficulty. It's about transforming obstacles into opportunities for growth, learning, and ultimately, success. The first step in transforming obstacles into opportunities is changing the way we view them. Most people see obstacles as negative forces that stand between them and their goals. They often experience frustration, resentment, or defeat when they encounter these barriers, believing that the path to success should be smooth and effortless. However, those with grit understand that obstacles are not roadblocks, but rather stepping stones. They recognize that every challenge is an opportunity for growth, a chance to learn something new, and a necessary part of the journey. This shift in perspective requires a deep understanding of the nature of success. Success is not about avoiding failure or bypassing challenges. It is about how we respond to these challenges. It is not about how many times we fall, but how many times we rise after falling. Gritty individuals view failure not as a reflection of their inability, but as a part of the process, an opportunity to learn, adapt, and try again. Every obstacle they encounter is a chance to strengthen their resolve, refine their approach, and come closer to their goals. Consider the story of J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. Before she became one of the most successful authors in history, Rowling faced numerous obstacles. She was rejected by multiple publishers, endured personal struggles, and faced financial difficulties. But instead of giving up, she persisted. She viewed each rejection as a lesson, each failure as an opportunity to improve her manuscript. Eventually, her perseverance paid off, and she became one of the best-selling authors in the world. Rowling's story is a testament to the power of turning obstacles into opportunities. Every setback she encountered was a stepping stone on the path to her ultimate success. This mindset shift is key to developing grit. Instead of being discouraged by obstacles, we must learn to view them as challenges that can help us grow. Every failure, every mistake, every roadblock is a lesson in disguise. They provide us with the chance to learn new skills, develop new strategies, and strengthen our determination. Obstacles force us to innovate, to think outside the box, and to find creative solutions. The greater the obstacle, the greater the opportunity for growth. The second step in transforming obstacles into opportunities is developing resilience, the ability to bounce back after setbacks and continue moving forward. Resilience is not about avoiding hardship, but about embracing it. It is the strength to face adversity with courage and to persist, even when the path is unclear. Resilient individuals do not let failure define them. They see it as a temporary setback, a necessary part of the journey toward success. Building resilience involves developing a positive mindset and a sense of self-efficacy, the belief that you can handle whatever challenges come your way. When faced with an obstacle, resilient individuals do not feel defeated. Instead, they look for solutions. They know that they have the ability to overcome whatever difficulties arise, and they trust in their own strength to do so. This mindset allows them to keep moving forward, no matter how difficult the journey may seem. One of the keys to building resilience is cultivating emotional regulation. Emotions are natural, and it's normal to feel discouraged, frustrated, or sad when faced with obstacles. However, it is how we manage these emotions that determines our ability to persevere. Resilient individuals acknowledge their emotions, but they do not let them control their actions. They use emotional regulation techniques, such as mindfulness, deep breathing, or positive self-talk to stay focused and centered in the face of adversity. Another important aspect of resilience is the ability to reframe setbacks. Instead of seeing failure as a dead end, resilient individuals reframe it as a lesson or an opportunity for growth. They ask themselves, what can I learn from this experience? What can I do differently next time? This approach allows them to turn negative experiences into valuable lessons that propel them forward. The third step in transforming obstacles into opportunities is developing a growth mindset. A growth mindset, as introduced by Carol Dweck, is the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning. People with a growth mindset see obstacles as challenges to overcome, not as insurmountable barriers. They believe that with time, effort, and perseverance, they can improve and achieve their goals. This mindset enables them to persist in the face of adversity, knowing that their efforts will lead to growth and success. People with a growth mindset do not fear failure. Instead, they embrace it as a necessary part of the learning process. They understand that every failure is an opportunity to improve, and they are not afraid to take risks, make mistakes, and learn from them. This mindset allows them to view obstacles as opportunities for growth, not threats to their success. To develop a growth mindset, we must shift our focus from the outcome to the process. Instead of being fixated on the final result, we must learn to appreciate the journey, small steps, the lessons learned, and the progress made along the way. By focusing on the process, we can remain motivated and committed, even when obstacles arise. The fourth step is developing a sense of purpose. When we have a clear sense of why we are pursuing a goal, obstacles become easier to overcome. Purpose provides us with the motivation to keep going when times get tough. It is the driving force that propels us forward, even when the path is difficult. A strong sense of purpose allows us to stay focused on the bigger picture and helps us maintain perspective when faced with setbacks. Having a sense of purpose also helps us stay resilient in the face of failure. When we are deeply connected to our goals and our purpose, we do not view setbacks as personal failures. Instead, we see them as part of the process, and we are able to bounce back quickly. Purpose gives us the strength to keep moving forward, even when obstacles threaten to derail us. The ability to transform obstacles into opportunities is a skill that can be cultivated over time. It's not something that comes naturally to everyone, but with practice, it becomes a powerful tool in the pursuit of any meaningful goal. When we view challenges through the lens of growth, we begin to see them as part of our journey, rather than as roadblocks that prevent us from moving forward. This shift in perception is one of the core elements of developing grit, the ability to keep moving forward, regardless of what life throws in our way. That as we face obstacles, it's important to remember that they often come with hidden gifts. What may seem like a setback is sometimes the universe's way of redirecting us toward a better path, teaching us valuable lessons, or helping us build resilience and strength. Each challenge is an opportunity for personal growth and an invitation to evolve. It is the difficult moments in life that teach us the most about ourselves, pushing us to tap into our deepest reserves of creativity, patience, and determination. Take, for instance, the story of Steve Jobs, who faced several monumental obstacles in his career. After being ousted from Apple, the company he co-founded, he could have easily given up. Instead, he used this setback as an opportunity to build Pixar into a powerhouse of innovation and creativity. Later, he returned to Apple, revolutionizing the technology industry with the iPod, iPhone, and iPad. Jobs' journey is a testament to the power of transforming setbacks into opportunities. Instead of being defeated by failure, he used it as fuel to create something even greater. To truly transform obstacles into opportunities, we must cultivate a mindset of curiosity. When we encounter challenges, we should ask ourselves, what is this obstacle trying to teach me? What can I learn from this experience? By adopting this mindset, we open ourselves to new possibilities and insights that would otherwise be hidden. Obstacles no longer become sources of frustration. Instead, they become valuable teachers that guide us on our path. Another key aspect of transforming obstacles is the ability to remain adaptable. The road to success is rarely a straight line. It's filled with unexpected twists and turns. Those who succeed in the long run are not necessarily those who follow a rigid plan, but those who can adapt and adjust when things don't go as expected. When faced with an obstacle, a gritty individual will evaluate the situation, adjust their approach, and keep moving forward. Flexibility and adaptability allow us to keep our momentum, even when we encounter resistance. Resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity, is another crucial trait in transforming obstacles into opportunities. Resilience is built by facing challenges head-on, learning from them, and using the lessons to fuel future growth. Resilient individuals do not let failure or setbacks define them. Instead, they use these experiences as stepping stones, constantly evolving and improving along the way. There is a powerful connection between resilience and optimism. Optimism doesn't mean ignoring the challenges or pretending everything is fine. Rather, it is the belief that, no matter how difficult the situation may seem, there is always a way forward. Optimistic individuals tend to approach obstacles with a sense of hope and confidence. They trust that, with persistence and effort, they will find a solution, even if it takes time. This mindset allows them to face obstacles without fear, knowing that they can handle whatever comes their way. To foster resilience, it's essential to practice self-compassion. During difficult times, we can be our own worst critics, berating ourselves for not doing better or for failing. But self-compassion is the antidote to this negative self-talk. When we show ourselves kindness and understanding, we allow ourselves to process our emotions, learn from the experience, and move forward with renewed strength, rather than being paralyzed by shame or guilt. Self-compassion encourages us to see obstacles as part of the human experience, not something to be ashamed of. Another powerful tool in transforming obstacles into opportunities is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude may seem like a simple concept, but it has profound effects on our mindset and well-being. When we face challenges, it's easy to focus on what's going wrong and what's standing in our way. But by practicing gratitude, we shift our focus to what is going right, what we have already accomplished, and the lessons we have learned along the way. Gratitude helps us stay grounded and focused, even when things are tough. It reminds us of the progress we've made and encourages us to keep moving forward with a positive mindset. Finally, it's important to recognize that transforming obstacles into opportunities requires patience. Growth doesn't happen overnight. Success takes time, and there will always be obstacles to overcome along the way. But with patience, perseverance, and a willingness to learn, we can turn every challenge into an opportunity for growth. Remember, the most successful individuals are not those who avoid obstacles, but those who meet them with determination, resilience, and a positive outlook. As you continue on your journey, remember that obstacles are not to be feared or avoided. They are simply part of the path, and with each one, you grow stronger, wiser, and more capable. Transform your obstacles into opportunities by embracing them with a mindset of curiosity, resilience, and optimism. Trust that every challenge is a stepping stone toward your ultimate success, and with each step, you are moving closer to your goals. Chapter 8: The Sacred Rituals of Abundance. There is a powerful connection between our inner world and the external world. What we think, feel, and believe shapes our reality. As we embark on our journey toward manifestation and success, it is essential to align our inner energy with the abundance we seek. One of the most effective ways to achieve this alignment is through the practice of sacred rituals. Rituals that not only help us stay focused and centered, but also serve as a means of channeling and cultivating the energy of abundance. Rituals are more than mere habits or routines. They are sacred acts of intention, performed with mindfulness and reverence. Rituals allow us to connect with our deeper selves and with the universe, creating a sacred space where we can align our energy with our desires. When performed regularly, rituals become powerful tools for manifestation, as they help to reinforce our intentions, strengthen our commitment, and create an energetic environment that attracts the prosperity we seek. The first step in creating a sacred ritual is to identify the intention behind it. What is it that you wish to manifest? What is the purpose of the ritual? Whether you are seeking abundance, clarity, healing, or personal growth, your ritual should be designed to support that intention. The intention sets the tone for the ritual and directs the energy you are cultivating. A clear, focused intention allows the ritual to become a powerful tool for manifestation. One of the most common and effective rituals for cultivating abundance is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude is a sacred practice that aligns our energy with the flow of prosperity. By focusing on what we already have and expressing appreciation for it, we open ourselves to receive more. Gratitude shifts our focus from scarcity to abundance, from lack to fulfillment. When we are grateful for the blessings in our lives, we create a vibration of abundance that attracts even more blessings. Begin your ritual of abundance with a simple practice of gratitude. Each day, take a moment to reflect on the things you are grateful for, whether they are big or small. You can do this in a journal, in a quiet moment of reflection, or even through prayer or meditation. The key is to be present and truly feel the gratitude in your heart. As you express your gratitude, you create a powerful, energetic shift that aligns you with abundance. Another sacred ritual for manifesting abundance is the practice of visualization. Visualization is the art of mentally picturing your desires, as if they have already come to fruition. It is a powerful tool that helps to align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with your goals. When you visualize your desired outcome, you are sending out a signal to the universe, telling it exactly what you want to manifest. The more vivid and detailed your visualization, the more powerful the ritual becomes. To practice visualization, find a quiet space where you can relax and focus your mind. Close your eyes and imagine yourself living your dream life. Picture every detail, how it feels, what you see, who is with you, and how you are experiencing your success. Feel the emotions of gratitude, joy, and fulfillment as you visualize your desires coming to life. The more you can immerse yourself in this mental picture, the stronger the energetic connection becomes between you and your desired outcome. Another sacred ritual is the use of affirmations. Affirmations are positive statements that help to reprogram our subconscious mind and align our beliefs with our desires. By repeating affirmations regularly, we begin to shift our mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility. Affirmations help us replace negative, self-limiting beliefs with empowering thoughts that support our goals. To create your own affirmations, write down statements that reflect your desires in the present tense. For example, instead of saying, "I will be abundant," say, "I am abundant." Instead of "I want to be successful," say, "I am successful." Speak these affirmations out loud each day, preferably in front of a mirror, while feeling the emotions of the words you are saying. The more you repeat these affirmations, the more they will shape your beliefs and actions. Incorporating the practice of journaling into your daily ritual is another powerful way to manifest abundance. Journaling allows you to reflect on your progress, clarify your desires, and express your gratitude. It also serves as a tool for self-discovery, helping you uncover any limiting beliefs or fears that may be blocking the flow of abundance in your life. Set aside a few minutes each day to write in your journal. Reflect on your goals, your dreams, and your achievements. Write about the things you are grateful for and the progress you have made toward your desires. Journaling helps to keep you focused and connected to your intention, and it provides a space for you to track your journey and celebrate your successes. The practice of giving is another sacred ritual that fosters abundance. When we give, we open the flow of energy, creating space for more to come into our lives. Giving can take many forms: donating money, offering your time and energy to a cause, or simply sharing your love and kindness with others. Giving is a reminder that abundance is not just about receiving, it is also about sharing and contributing to the well-being of others. The more we give, the more we create a cycle of abundance that returns to us in unexpected ways. Start by giving in small ways each day. You don't need to give large sums of money or make grand gestures. Small acts of kindness, offering a smile, helping a friend, or donating to a cause are all ways to cultivate the energy of abundance in your life. As you give, you reinforce the belief that there is always enough, and that the more you give, the more you will receive. Finally, one of the most powerful sacred rituals is the practice of stillness and meditation. In the stillness, we connect with the divine flow of the universe. Meditation allows us to clear our minds, center our energy, and open ourselves to receive guidance, inspiration, and abundance. Through meditation, we cultivate a sense of inner peace, which helps us to stay aligned with our desires and remain open to the flow of prosperity. Set aside time each day to meditate. Focus on your breath, letting go of any distractions or worries. Visualize yourself receiving abundance, or simply sit in silence, allowing your thoughts to settle. As you meditate, feel the peace and calm that come with connecting to the energy of the universe. The more you practice meditation, the more you will cultivate the sacred silence necessary for manifestation. That is, you continue to integrate the sacred rituals of abundance into your life. You will notice a subtle yet powerful shift in the energy around you. These rituals not only help you stay aligned with your goals, but also help to cultivate a mindset of abundance. The more you practice these rituals with intention and reverence, the more you begin to embody the very energy of prosperity. Abundance becomes not just a desire, but a way of being, a natural flow that you tap into through your thoughts, actions, and energy. Another crucial aspect of these rituals is the practice of visualization combined with emotional resonance. While visualization alone can be a powerful tool for manifestation, it is when we bring deep emotional alignment into the practice that we begin to activate the energy of abundance. Emotions are one of the most potent forces in our universe, and when we align our visualizations with positive, vibrant emotions, we amplify our intentions. To deepen your visualization practice, begin by connecting with the emotions you would feel if your desire were already manifested. How would it feel to live the life you are envisioning? What emotions would flood your heart? Is it joy, peace, gratitude, or excitement? When you can vividly experience the emotions of your success, the universe will respond with a greater flow of energy, as emotions act as a magnet for similar vibrations. As you incorporate this into your daily ritual, try to engage all of your senses. Visualize not only what you want, but also feel, hear, and smell it. The more you immerse yourself in the sensory experience of your desires, the more real they become to your mind and spirit. As your emotional energy aligns with your visualizations, you begin to draw in the circumstances, people, and opportunities that will bring your desires to life. It's also important to recognize the role that faith plays in the sacred rituals of abundance. Faith is the unwavering belief that the universe is conspiring in your favor, that what you are seeking is already on its way, even if you cannot see it yet. Faith is not about waiting passively for things to happen. It is the confidence that your actions, energy, and intentions will bear fruit in their own perfect timing. When you practice these rituals, trust that your efforts are working behind the scenes, even when results are not immediately visible. A powerful practice to reinforce your faith is to keep a manifestation journal. Each day, write down the small victories, signs, and synchronicities you encounter along the way. This practice of gratitude and reflection will help you see how the universe is already supporting your goals and reinforcing your belief in the process. As you look back over time, you'll notice that the universe has been guiding you all along, creating the perfect conditions for your success. Incorporating sacred rituals of abundance into your life requires consistency and dedication. It is not a one-time practice, but a lifestyle, a way of being that aligns your energy with the universe's abundant flow. The more you practice these rituals, the more you will begin to notice the subtle changes around you. Opportunities will begin to present themselves, and you will feel an increased sense of clarity and alignment with your desires. By making these practices a regular part of your life, you train your mind and spirit to continuously attract the abundance you seek. One important consideration when practicing these rituals is the concept of detachment. While it is crucial to have clear intentions and to take inspired action toward your goals, it is equally important to detach from the outcome. This means releasing the need to control when, where, and how your desires will manifest. Detachment allows you to maintain peace and faith, regardless of external circumstances. When you let go of the pressure to make things happen, you create the space for the universe to work its magic. The rituals of abundance also require an open heart. In order to receive, we must be open to the flow of energy around us. This means letting go of limiting beliefs, fears, and past disappointments that may be blocking the flow of prosperity. The universe can only provide what you are willing to receive. When you open your heart to the abundance that already exists, you create an energetic invitation for more to come into your life. A powerful way to open your heart is through the practice of self-love and self-compassion. When we love ourselves unconditionally, we signal to the universe that we are worthy of the abundance that is coming our way. Self-love nurtures a sense of worthiness, which is crucial for manifesting prosperity. The more you affirm your worth and embrace your divinity, the more you will naturally attract the energy of abundance into your life. You can also integrate acts of kindness into your daily rituals. The act of giving, whether it's a kind word, a thoughtful gesture, or a generous donation, creates a ripple of positive energy. Giving is a powerful way to reinforce your connection to the universe's flow of abundance. When you give freely, you demonstrate your belief in the endless supply of prosperity, and in turn, you create space for the universe to send even more your way. As you work with these sacred rituals, it's important to remember that they are not meant to be mechanical or forced. They are a practice, a living, breathing part of your journey toward manifestation. They are designed to connect you with the energy of the universe, to ground you in the present moment, and to align your intentions with your highest purpose. You are not merely seeking material success through these rituals, but a deeper sense of alignment with the abundant flow of life. The true reward is not only the material manifestation of your desires, but the inner peace, clarity, and connection that these rituals bring to your life. When you live in alignment with the flow of abundance, you begin to experience prosperity, not just in material things, but in every area of your life: relationships, health, creativity, and spiritual fulfillment. Chapter 9: The Art of Quiet Action. In a world that often glorifies hustle, speed, and visible results, there is a quiet power in taking action that is slow, deliberate, and purposeful. The art of quiet action is the practice of moving toward your goals with intention, mindfulness, and patience, without the need for constant external validation or frantic effort. This form of action is grounded in the belief that true progress is not made by rushing but by taking steady, consistent steps that align with your deeper purpose and vision. Quiet action is not about avoiding work or shirking responsibilities. Rather, it is about being discerning with your energy and ensuring that every step you take is meaningful, aligned, and purposeful. In contrast to the loud, overwhelming energy of hustle culture, quiet action is subtle and requires you to trust the process rather than the outcome. It is the kind of action that doesn't require constant attention, yet steadily moves you forward, inch by inch, towards your goal. The first step in mastering the art of quiet action is learning to prioritize what truly matters. In a world full of distractions, it is easy to become overwhelmed with the sheer volume of things we think we need to do. However, not every task is created equal, and not every action will bring you closer to your deepest desires. Quiet action requires you to focus your energy on the tasks that are most aligned with your goals, rather than spreading yourself thin with tasks that drain your energy without contributing to your long-term vision. This doesn't mean that the small, seemingly insignificant tasks are unimportant. On the contrary, quiet action often involves focusing on the details, taking time to get things right, to perfect your craft, and to refine your approach. Every small action, when taken with intention, builds the foundation for greater success. It's about cultivating a mindset that values quality over quantity, precision over speed, and mindfulness over haste. One of the hallmarks of quiet action is the ability to maintain inner peace despite the external noise. In today's fast-paced world, it can be easy to get swept up in the rush, to feel as though you must act immediately, or to become overwhelmed by the pressure to be constantly doing. However, quiet action teaches us that true power lies in our ability to remain calm and grounded while we work toward our goals. It's about staying focused on the task at hand, without letting anxiety or urgency dictate your pace. In order to practice quiet action, you must first cultivate a deep sense of inner clarity. When you are clear on your goals, your values, and your purpose, it becomes much easier to take deliberate, focused action. Clarity gives you the confidence to move forward without second-guessing yourself, trusting that each step you take is leading you closer to your desired outcome. It also helps you filter out distractions and stay aligned with your true priorities, so you don't waste time or energy on tasks that don't serve your larger vision. Quiet action also involves creating the right environment for your success. Just as a tree cannot grow without the right conditions, your actions cannot yield the desired results if you are not in the right mental, emotional, and physical space. This means making space for rest, reflection, and rejuvenation, as well as ensuring that your environment supports your focus and productivity. When you create a peaceful and supportive environment, both externally and internally, you are able to take action from a place of strength and clarity, rather than from a place of stress or exhaustion. The power of quiet action lies in its ability to create momentum, no matter how small. When we consistently take aligned action over time, even if it's just one small step each day, we build the necessary momentum to keep moving forward. Over time, those small steps accumulate, and the results manifest. Quiet action is not rushed or hurried, but a steady and persistent flow. This sustainable approach ensures that you continue to make progress, even when the external rewards are not immediately visible. In quiet action, we also learn to listen to the rhythm of life. Instead of pushing or forcing, we learn to move in harmony with the natural flow of energy. Life will present us with challenges and opportunities at the right moment. And the more we trust in divine timing, the more we can move with grace, not against the current. This doesn't mean we are passive or inactive, but that we become more discerning with our actions, waiting for the right moments to take deliberate steps forward. When you embrace quiet action, you are removing the need for external validation. The hustle culture often teaches us to measure our worth by how much we accomplish or how quickly we achieve results. But quiet action teaches us that our value is not determined by the speed or quantity of our efforts, but by the intention behind them. When we focus on doing the right things, rather than doing things just to be busy, we release the pressure of competing or comparing ourselves to others. This doesn't mean we don't set ambitious goals or work hard. It simply means that we no longer feel the need to hustle or chase success at the expense of our well-being. Instead, quiet action allows us to pace ourselves, honoring our energy, our mental space, and our values along the way. It enables us to work steadily, without fear or urgency, moving toward our goals with clear intention, knowing that we are exactly where we need to be. The true power of quiet action lies in its ability to foster inner consistency. While the world may be noisy, demanding, and fast-paced, quiet action allows you to cultivate a deeper sense of calm. This calmness is not a passive state, it is an active state of focus and intentionality. The more we cultivate this calm energy, the more we can continue to move forward without being swayed by external pressures. It is in this space of peace that true productivity thrives, not in frantic doing, but in aligned and deliberate action. One of the key benefits of quiet action is that it helps us to maintain sustained focus on our long-term goals. It is easy to be swept away by short-term distractions, to get caught in the hustle of achieving quick results. However, the process of quiet action teaches us that the most meaningful successes are not born out of short bursts of energy, but from consistent, focused effort over time. By working steadily toward our goals, without feeling the need to rush or seek external validation, we create a foundation of success that is rooted in perseverance and resilience. A crucial aspect of quiet action is learning to trust that every step you take, no matter how small, is contributing to your greater vision. Often, when we don't see immediate results, we can become discouraged or feel that we are not making progress. Quiet action, however, allows us to trust in the process, knowing that our consistent effort is leading us in the right direction. Every small action compounds over time, and eventually, we begin to see the fruits of our labor. Another important element of quiet action is the power of consistency. It is not the one big leap that creates long-term success, but the daily small steps that add up over time. Consistency creates momentum. Each time you take aligned action, you strengthen your commitment to your goals, and with each step, you move closer to your desired outcome. This steady approach allows us to build lasting success without burning out or becoming overwhelmed by the enormity of the task ahead. Consistency in quiet action also ensures that we remain adaptable. While we may have a clear sense of direction, we must also be open to the changes that life brings. Quiet action does not mean rigidity. It means being flexible enough to adapt to new circumstances, to refine our methods, and to continue moving forward even when the path takes unexpected turns. It is through this adaptability that we learn to navigate the complexities of life and remain aligned with our deepest goals. The practice of quiet action also helps us to cultivate a deep sense of purpose. When we focus on the long-term vision, and when our actions align with that vision, we create a sense of meaning that fuels us, even on the hardest days. Having a clear purpose anchors us, especially when obstacles arise or when the path ahead seems uncertain. This sense of purpose keeps us grounded and motivates us to keep going, knowing that each action we take is bringing us closer to our higher purpose. Quiet action also allows us to be more mindful of our energy. In a world where we are often taught to work harder and faster, quiet action teaches us to be discerning with where and how we direct our energy. Not all action is equal. It's essential to be intentional with your energy, to work smarter, not harder. Quiet action encourages us to focus on the activities that have the most impact and to let go of distractions or tasks that do not serve our long-term vision. By conserving our energy and directing it toward our highest priorities, we can achieve more with less effort. Furthermore, by embracing quiet action, we learn the value of patience. Patience is a crucial aspect of manifestation and success. The world may rush us, but quiet action requires us to honor the timing of our goals. It reminds us that great things take time. By practicing patience, we stop measuring our worth by how fast we achieve things and instead value the journey, knowing that every step we take, no matter how small, is a step in the right direction. Quiet action also leads us to develop self-discipline. In a noisy world filled with distractions, it takes discipline to stay focused and to continue working on our goals without being swept away by the latest trend or external pressure. By consistently practicing quiet action, we strengthen our discipline, allowing us to remain committed to our goals, even when faced with temptations to stray from our path. This discipline is what ultimately allows us to achieve lasting success. Lastly, the art of quiet action teaches us the value of self-compassion. When we take action quietly and without external pressure, we give ourselves the grace to make mistakes, to learn, and to grow. Quiet action is about doing the work without the need for perfection, knowing that every effort is a step forward. When we allow ourselves the space to be imperfect, we remove the burden of self-criticism and open ourselves up to growth and progress. When practiced regularly, quiet action becomes a sacred ritual and intentional way of engaging with life and aligning ourselves with our highest purpose. It is the practice of slowing down to move forward with clarity and grace. It is the art of doing without rushing, of being productive without being busy, and of taking steady, deliberate steps toward your goals. By embracing quiet action, you free yourself from the chaos of the external world and align your efforts with your deepest desires. You no longer measure your success by how fast you go or how much you achieve in a day, but by how true your actions are to your purpose and how consistently you show up for your dreams. Quiet action becomes a powerful force, propelling you forward with steady determination, calm confidence, and unwavering belief in the process. Chapter 10. The Power of Faith and Persistence. At the heart of all success lies the unwavering belief in the possibility of achieving one's goals. It is this deep-rooted faith, combined with persistence, that forms the foundation of grit. Without faith, our actions can lack direction, and without persistence, our dreams remain distant. Faith and persistence are the guiding forces that carry us through the challenges, the failures, and the uncertain moments of our journey, reminding us that success is a gradual process, built step by step. Faith is the belief that something is possible, even when there is no tangible evidence to support it. It is the confidence that our efforts are not in vain, that our desires are meant to be realized, and that the universe supports us on our journey. In many ways, faith is what gives us the courage to take the first step, even when we do not know the full path. Faith allows us to continue moving forward, even when the road is unclear and the destination feels far away. Persistence, on the other hand, is the act of continuing despite obstacles, setbacks, and failures. It is the quality that allows us to endure hardship, to press on when the world seems to be pushing us backward. Where faith fuels our belief in success, persistence fuels our actions. Together, these two qualities form a powerful partnership that enables us to overcome even the greatest challenges. The journey toward our goals is rarely a straight line. It is full of twists, turns, and unexpected obstacles. But it is in these moments of uncertainty that faith becomes our anchor. It is faith that tells us to keep going when everything around us seems to suggest we should stop. It is faith that allows us to believe in the process, even when the outcome is not immediately apparent. Without faith, we would give up at the first sign of difficulty. But with faith, we continue, knowing that success is just beyond the horizon. One of the most important aspects of faith is learning to trust the process. Success is not always immediate, and the results of our efforts are not always visible right away. However, faith teaches us that every step we take brings us closer to our goals. It is the belief that our work, no matter how small, is contributing to the greater picture. This trust allows us to maintain our momentum, even when we are unsure of how long the road ahead will be. Persistence is the natural companion to faith. While faith gives us the belief that our goals are achievable, persistence ensures that we keep taking action toward those goals, no matter how long it takes. It is the willingness to keep going, even when things get difficult or when we encounter setbacks. Every challenge, every failure, is an opportunity for us to learn, adapt, and grow stronger. Persistence teaches us to see failure not as an endpoint, but as a lesson that propels us forward. Consider the example of the bamboo tree. For the first few years of its life, the bamboo remains underground, silently growing its roots. To the outside world, it seems as though nothing is happening, but in those hidden years, the bamboo is building a strong foundation, preparing for its eventual growth. And when the time is right, the bamboo shoots up into the sky, growing several feet in a matter of weeks. The bamboo's growth is a perfect example of how persistence, combined with faith, leads to eventual success. Just because progress isn't visible doesn't mean it isn't happening. Faith in the process allows us to trust that every effort we make is contributing to our growth, even if we can't see it yet. Persistence also teaches us resilience. The ability to bounce back from failure, to get back up after falling, is one of the greatest qualities we can develop. It is through persistence that we learn to face challenges with courage, to embrace the discomfort of growth, and to keep going, even when the odds are stacked against us. Each time we persist, we grow stronger, more resilient, and more capable of handling whatever comes our way. Another key element of persistence is the ability to maintain focus. In our fast-paced world, it is easy to become distracted, to jump from one task to another without completing anything. But persistence requires that we stay focused on our goals, that we prioritize our time and energy toward what truly matters. The key to persistence is not about doing more, but about doing less with greater intention. It is about staying focused on the long-term vision, despite the distractions of the present moment. In order to develop both faith and persistence, we must cultivate patience. The journey to success is often slower than we expect, and we may encounter setbacks that challenge our belief in ourselves. But patience teaches us that success is not a race, it is a marathon. We do not need to rush the process or compare ourselves to others. By practicing patience, we allow the universe to bring our desires to fruition at the right time, and we give ourselves the grace to continue working toward our goals without the pressure of immediate results. Faith and persistence are not just qualities we develop when things are going well, they are the qualities that sustain us during difficult times. When we are faced with challenges, it is our faith in the process and our persistence in moving forward that will see us through. It is the understanding that our efforts are never wasted, that every step we take brings us closer to our goal. No matter how small, in the face of adversity, remember that persistence is not about working harder or faster. It is about continuing with patience, trust, and commitment. Faith is not about hoping for things to happen. It is about knowing that everything you desire is already on its way, and that every challenge is simply a part of the process. Together, faith and persistence create a powerful force that can overcome any obstacle. With faith, you believe in the possibility of success. With persistence, you take consistent action toward that success. The combination of these two qualities is the foundation of grit, the force that keeps you moving forward, no matter the challenges you encounter. As we continue the journey of faith and persistence, it becomes clear that these two qualities form the backbone of sustained achievement. While faith is the belief in a greater plan and the confidence that everything will unfold as it should, persistence is the practical application of this belief, continuing to take action even when results are not immediate. The combination of both creates an unstoppable force, one that keeps us grounded, focused, and on track, despite the inevitable obstacles that arise. One of the most powerful aspects of faith and persistence is the ability to stay connected to your vision. Your vision is the guiding light that shows you where you're headed and keeps you grounded in your purpose. When you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve, faith becomes easier to cultivate. You trust the path because you have a clear sense of direction. Persistence, on the other hand, allows you to continue walking that path, step by step, even when the road gets rough. In order to truly harness the power of faith and persistence, you must also learn to embrace uncertainty. Life, by nature, is unpredictable, and no matter how clear your vision is, you cannot always foresee the challenges that will arise. However, faith teaches us to embrace uncertainty with trust. It's the belief that every obstacle or detour is not a setback, but an opportunity for growth. When we practice faith, we learn to trust that the path we're on is leading us exactly where we need to be, even when the journey feels uncertain. A major obstacle that often hinders persistence is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, and fear of the unknown are natural human responses to taking risks. Yet, it is in the face of fear that faith and persistence shine their brightest. When we move forward despite our fears, we build resilience. We prove to ourselves that we are capable of handling whatever challenges come our way. It is in overcoming these fears that we strengthen both our faith and our persistence, enabling us to face future challenges with even greater confidence. Another crucial element of faith and persistence is the practice of gratitude. When we remain grateful for the progress we've made, no matter how small, we reinforce our belief in the process. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we already have, creating a positive feedback loop that attracts more of the same. By consistently practicing gratitude, we remind ourselves that every small step is a victory, and this mindset encourages us to persist in the face of obstacles. Persistence also requires flexibility. While persistence is about staying committed to your goals, it's also about being willing to adapt when things don't go according to plan. Life will rarely unfold exactly as we expect, but with faith and persistence, we learn to adjust our approach without losing sight of the end goal. This flexibility allows us to keep moving forward, no matter how many times we need to change course. By being open to change and learning from every setback, we ensure that our persistence remains effective and aligned with our vision. An essential aspect of both faith and persistence is self-belief. Without belief in yourself, it becomes much harder to trust the process and keep moving forward. Self-doubt can easily sabotage our efforts, but faith in our own abilities allows us to persevere even when we face challenges. The more we cultivate self-belief, the more naturally persistence comes to us. We begin to trust in our own ability to handle setbacks, learn from failures, and continue moving toward our goals with unwavering determination. Lastly, it is important to recognize that faith and persistence are not about rushing or forcing outcomes. True success takes time. It is built on a foundation of consistent effort, learning, and growth. When we approach our goals with patience, we remove the pressure to achieve everything immediately. We begin to enjoy the journey, knowing that each step we take is part of a larger process of growth and transformation. This understanding allows us to persist without the burden of impatience or frustration. Faith and persistence are the ultimate tools for achieving success, both in the pursuit of external goals and in our internal development. They allow us to remain committed, even when the results are not immediate or obvious. They help us overcome obstacles, stay grounded in our vision, and continue moving forward with purpose. With faith, we trust that the universe is guiding us, and with persistence, we take deliberate steps toward our desires, knowing that every action, no matter how small, brings us closer to the life we are creating. Through faith and persistence, we are not only moving toward our goals but also evolving as individuals. Each challenge, each setback, and each success adds to our growth. The process of pursuing our dreams becomes a transformative journey, one that strengthens our character, deepens our resilience, and enriches our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. In the end, success is not just about reaching a destination. It is about the person we become in the process. By cultivating faith and persistence, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life and the universe's abundant energy. Through unwavering belief and consistent effort, we create the life we desire one step at a time, with patience, trust, and a deep sense of purpose. Chapter 11. The Final Step. Embodying your success. As we reach the final step of our journey towards grit, it is essential to understand that success is not just about the achievement of goals, but about the embodiment of those goals in our daily lives. Success is not a distant destination, but a state of being that we cultivate through our actions, thoughts, and energy. To truly succeed, we must not only achieve our dreams, but also become the person who naturally attracts those dreams. The final step in the process of building grit is embodying success, living as though we are already the person we aspire to be. To embody success means to live in alignment with the vision we hold for ourselves. It means embodying the qualities of the person we wish to become, not waiting for success to arrive before we begin to live in that energy. The way we think, speak, and act every day creates our reality. When we embody the mindset, the values, and the actions that align with our goals, we attract the opportunities, relationships, and circumstances that will help us fulfill our vision. The first key to embodying your success is cultivating self-awareness. In order to embody the person we want to become, we must first understand who we are right now. Self-awareness allows us to identify the areas where we need to grow, the beliefs that are limiting us, and the habits that are holding us back. By becoming aware of our current state, we can make conscious decisions to align our thoughts and actions with our desired outcomes. Self-awareness also helps us to recognize when we are operating from a place of fear or doubt. When we are clear on our vision, we are more likely to spot moments when we are not acting in alignment with our true self. For example, we may notice that we are procrastinating, or that we are making excuses for not taking action. These moments are opportunities for growth. Instead of allowing fear to dictate our actions, we can choose to face it with courage, understanding that our ability to move past fear is what ultimately empowers us. Another critical element of embodying success is cultivating the mindset of abundance. When we operate from a mindset of abundance, we believe that there is enough for everyone. We believe that the universe is not limited, and that there is an abundance of opportunities, resources, and success available to all. This mindset allows us to act without fear of scarcity, to give freely, and to embrace the opportunities that come our way. A mindset of abundance also helps us to remain open to receiving. In order to embody success, we must be willing to receive the success we desire. Often we are so focused on giving, achieving, and doing that we forget to receive the gifts the universe offers, whether it's praise, love, opportunities, or material rewards. We must allow ourselves to accept these blessings with gratitude and grace. When we are open to receiving, we send out a signal to the universe that we are ready to embrace our success in all its forms. 2. Embody success. We must also take consistent, deliberate action. It is not enough to just think about success or wish for it. We must show up for our dreams every day, taking action that aligns with our goals. The actions we take must be rooted in our values and purpose. Each step we take should reflect the person we are becoming. By committing to consistent, purposeful action, we reinforce our belief in ourselves and in the process. This action must also be aligned with our intuition. While taking action is essential, it is equally important to listen to our inner guidance. Our intuition is often a reflection of our deepest wisdom and will guide us in the right direction. When we embody success, we trust our inner knowing and allow it to guide us toward the opportunities that are aligned with our vision. We don't rely on external validation. We trust that the steps we are taking are leading us to exactly where we need to be. Another key to embodying success is the practice of self-compassion. The path to success is not linear, and there will be setbacks along the way. Self-compassion allows us to be kind to ourselves when things don't go as planned. It gives us the space to recover, to learn from our mistakes, and to keep moving forward with renewed energy. When we embody success, we are gentle with ourselves during the tough times, knowing that failure is a part of the process and that it does not define us. Finally, to truly embody success, we must be willing to step into our greatness. Many of us shy away from our full potential out of fear or self-doubt, but in order to achieve our dreams, we must believe in our own worth and capabilities. Embodying success requires us to step into the person we were always meant to be: confident, courageous, and capable. When we fully embrace our greatness, we create the energy that attracts success and abundance into our lives. To embody your success means to live as though you are already the person you are becoming. It's not about waiting for success to show up before you act. It's about living in the energy of success right now through your thoughts, actions, and mindset. When you embody success, you no longer chase after your dreams. Your dreams naturally come to you. You become a magnet for success, attracting the opportunities and resources you need to fulfill your vision. When you begin to embody success, something remarkable happens. You no longer see yourself as separate from your desires. Instead of feeling like success is something outside of yourself, something you must chase after or fight for, you begin to realize that you are success. The essence of what you desire is already within you. It is not a distant goal to be achieved, but a truth to be embraced and expressed. This realization shifts everything. your mindset, your actions, your interactions with the world. Embodying your success is not about pretending to be something you're not. It is about stepping into your true power and potential. It is about fully accepting who you are and allowing that acceptance to be reflected in your actions. The more you align with your authentic self, the more effortlessly your success flows. You are no longer putting on a mask to fit into an image of success created by others. Instead, you become a genuine reflection of the abundance and greatness that you already embody. One of the most profound shifts that happens when you embody success is that you begin to exude confidence. Confidence comes not from seeking external validation, but from being deeply connected to your inner worth and purpose. When you embody success, you naturally walk through life with your head held high, knowing that you have everything you need to achieve your goals. Confidence is the energy you project into the world, and it is magnetic. People are drawn to confidence because it reflects trust, self-assurance, and inner strength. As you begin to embody success, you also become more attuned to your purpose, no longer distracted by the external pressures or fears that once held you back. You focus more clearly on what truly matters to you. You take action with intention, and each step you take becomes more aligned with your core values. When you are in alignment with your purpose, your actions become more meaningful and fulfilling. You move forward with a sense of direction, knowing that each moment is contributing to the greater picture of your life. This embodiment also requires a deep understanding of gratitude. Gratitude is the foundation upon which all success is built. When you embrace gratitude as a part of your daily practice, you invite more abundance into your life. Gratitude allows you to recognize the blessings that are already present, and when you are aware of these blessings, you naturally attract more. Embodying success is not just about the achievement of goals, but about appreciating the journey, the process, and the growth along the way. By practicing gratitude, you elevate your energy and align with the flow of prosperity. Another key aspect of embodying success is resilience. Success is not a straight path, and the road is often filled with unexpected challenges. When you embody success, you learn to see obstacles as opportunities to grow stronger. You do not shy away from difficulties. Instead, you face them head, knowing that each challenge is simply a part of the process. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after setbacks and keep moving forward with the same determination and belief in yourself that you had at the beginning. Embodying success also means taking care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. Success does not come from relentless hustle or neglecting your well-being. True success is sustainable, and sustainability comes from balance. You must nourish your body, mind, and soul to maintain the energy needed to pursue your goals. Whether it's through exercise, healthy eating, relaxation, or mindfulness practices, self-care is an essential part of the process. When you take care of yourself, you create the energy needed to fuel your success. One of the most powerful shifts in embodying success is the way you begin to inspire others. Success is not meant to be hoarded or kept to oneself. It is a flow, a ripple effect that spreads to those around you. When you embody success, you become a beacon of possibility for others. Your actions, mindset, and energy serve as a model of what's possible. You uplift others with your confidence, encourage them with your resilience, and inspire them with your unwavering faith. As you move forward in your own success, you naturally become a source of inspiration and motivation for those around you. To truly embody success, you must also be willing to let go of the need for external recognition. While it is natural to seek validation from others, the most profound success comes from within. When you embody success, you no longer need approval or applause to feel accomplished. Your satisfaction comes from knowing that you are aligned with your highest purpose, that you are making a difference in your own life and the lives of others. Success is not defined by what others think of you, but by how you feel about yourself and the impact you are creating. The final step in embodying your success is allowing it to be a natural expression of who you are. Success is not something you achieve for the sake of external validation or comparison. It is the reflection of your authentic self. When you embody success, you become a living example of what it means to be aligned with your true purpose and passion. You radiate success because you are at peace with who you are and the journey you are on. Success is not a destination to be reached, but a way of being. To embody success is to live each day with intention, clarity, and gratitude. It is to align your thoughts, actions, and energy with your deepest desires, and to trust that the universe will support you in your efforts. When you embody success, you no longer chase after it, you become it. Chapter 12. The eternal flow of abundance. Abundance is not something that can be created or acquired. It is something that already exists in the universe, and it flows to those who are open to receiving it. In many ways, the concept of abundance is misunderstood. We often think of abundance as a finite resource, something that we must chase, earn, or compete for. But true abundance is infinite. It is a natural state of the universe, an ever-flowing river of energy that is available to all who are willing to align with it. The key is not to acquire abundance, but to allow it to flow freely into our lives. The eternal flow of abundance is a state of being, not a goal to be achieved. When we align ourselves with this flow, we cease to struggle or force things to happen. Instead, we enter into a state of receptivity, where opportunities, prosperity, and success flow naturally to us. This is the essence of abundance. It is not about getting more, but about being open to what is already available to us. The first step in aligning with the eternal flow of abundance is letting go of the belief in scarcity. Scarcity is the illusion that there is not enough to go around, that resources are limited, and that we must compete for what we desire. This mindset creates fear, anxiety, and a sense of lack. However, when we shift our perspective to one of abundance, we begin to recognize that there is more than enough for everyone. There is an infinite supply of love, wealth, creativity, and success in the universe. Abundance is not a zero-sum game. It is a continuous flow that expands as we allow it to. The key to experiencing the eternal flow of abundance is cultivating an attitude of openness and gratitude. When we are grateful for what we have, we create an energetic alignment with more blessings. Gratitude is a powerful magnet for abundance, as it sends a signal to the universe that we are ready to receive. The more we appreciate the small blessings in our lives, the more we open ourselves to the larger ones. Gratitude also shifts our focus from what is lacking to what is already present. Instead of focusing on what we don't have, we begin to see the abundance that already surrounds us. Whether it's the love of family and friends, the beauty of nature, the joy of a simple moment, or the opportunities that have already come our way. Gratitude helps us recognize that abundance is already a part of our lives. As we acknowledge the blessings we already have, we align ourselves with the eternal flow of abundance, allowing even more to come into our lives. Another important aspect of aligning with abundance is learning to trust in the process. Often, we become frustrated when things don't happen as quickly as we expect. We may try to force the universe to deliver our desires on our timeline, but true abundance operates on its own divine timing. When we trust that the universe has a plan for us, we can surrender the need for control and allow things to unfold as they are meant to. This trust is an essential part of the eternal flow of abundance, as it frees us from the anxiety of rushing and helps us to stay centered and patient. Trusting the flow of abundance also means letting go of attachment. When we are too attached to a specific outcome or timeline, we block the flow of energy. Attachment creates resistance, and resistance prevents abundance from flowing freely. Instead, we must learn to trust that the universe will deliver what is best for us at the right time. This doesn't mean we give up on our goals. It simply means that we let go of the need to control how or when they will happen. By releasing attachment, we create space for the universe to bring us what we need in the most perfect and timely way. To fully experience the eternal flow of abundance, we must also practice generosity. Generosity is not just about giving material things. It is about sharing our time, energy, love, and kindness with others. When we give freely, we open the flow of energy and create a cycle of abundance that benefits everyone. Giving is an act of trust in the infinite supply of the universe. It is the understanding that the more we give, the more we receive, and that by sharing our blessings, we create even more opportunities for prosperity to flow into our lives. Generosity also helps to dissolve the fear of scarcity. When we give freely, we affirm that there is more than enough to go around. We recognize that abundance is not a limited resource, but an ever-expanding flow. Each act of generosity reinforces this belief and brings us closer to experiencing the full richness of life. That as we continue to align with the eternal flow of abundance, we must also be willing to receive. Many people block the flow of abundance by believing that they are not worthy of success, wealth, or love. This belief in unworthiness creates a barrier that prevents us from receiving the blessings that the universe has to offer. To fully embrace abundance, we must first believe that we deserve it. We must let go of any limiting beliefs that tell us we are not worthy and open ourselves to receiving all that we desire. Receiving is not just about material things, it is also about receiving love, support, guidance, and inspiration. When we are open to receiving, we allow the universe to give us exactly what we need, whether it is in the form of financial wealth, opportunities, relationships, or personal growth. The more we open ourselves to receive, the more abundance flows into our lives. Finally, to live in alignment with the eternal flow of abundance, we must recognize that abundance is not just about material wealth. True abundance encompasses all areas of life: love, health, creativity, and fulfillment. It is the recognition that prosperity is not limited to money or possessions, but is a state of being that radiates throughout every aspect of our lives. When we embrace this holistic view of abundance, we open ourselves to a life that is rich in every way. The eternal flow of abundance is not something we have to chase or fight for. It is a natural state of the universe, and by aligning with this flow, we can receive all that we desire with grace and ease. Abundance is already here. It is within us, around us, and waiting for us to step into it. By cultivating trust, gratitude, generosity, and openness, we align ourselves with the infinite supply of the universe and allow the eternal flow of abundance to manifest in our lives. As we step into the eternal flow of abundance, it's important to recognize that this flow is ever present. It is not something that is out there waiting to be found. It is already within us, part of the very fabric of our existence. Our task is not to seek abundance, but to open ourselves to the constant flow of it that is already available. To us, this is the essence of abundance. It is infinite, it is eternal, and it is already in motion. When we align ourselves with the flow of abundance, we cease to push, strive, or force outcomes. Instead, we surrender to the rhythm of life. Surrendering does not mean giving up or resigning ourselves to passivity. It means trusting in the process, knowing that each moment is part of the unfolding. It means taking aligned, inspired action, while remaining at peace with the timing of our desires. It is through this surrender that we allow the universe to deliver our desires in the most perfect and timely manner. The practice of surrender, in the context of abundance, requires us to let go of control. When we try to control every aspect of our lives and every outcome, we close ourselves off from the natural flow. The universe knows what is best for us, even when we don't. Surrendering control allows us to trust that everything is unfolding as it should. It creates space for us to receive the blessings that the universe is trying to send our way. When we stop fighting against the current, we are able to be carried toward our dreams with ease. At the heart of embracing the eternal flow of abundance is the understanding that prosperity is a state of mind. It is not about waiting for external circumstances to change before we can experience abundance. True abundance starts within. It is a mindset of possibility, of openness, and of faith. When we adopt this mindset, we begin to see opportunities everywhere. We become more attuned to the small blessings in our lives, and we begin to attract even more. The more we focus on what we already have and express gratitude for it, the more the universe responds by sending us more to be grateful for. Abundance is also deeply connected to our relationship with others. The more we cultivate generosity in our lives, the more abundance flows through us. Generosity is not just about giving material things, but about sharing our love, our time, our energy, and our wisdom with others. When we give freely, we open ourselves to receive freely. The universe is constantly in motion, and as we share our blessings, we create a ripple effect that brings more blessings back to us. This is the law of circulation, the understanding that the more we give, the more we receive. Giving is not a sacrifice. It is an exchange that strengthens the flow of abundance. When we give with an open heart, we affirm that there is always more than enough to go around. We are reminded that prosperity is not a finite resource but an infinite one. As we give, we trust that the universe will continue to provide, and we create space for more blessings to enter our lives. One of the greatest obstacles to experiencing the eternal flow of abundance is the belief in scarcity. Scarcity is the belief that there is not enough to go around, that resources are limited, and that we must fight for what we want. This belief creates fear and competition, and it blocks the flow of abundance. When we hold on to the belief in scarcity, we are essentially telling the universe that there isn't enough to go around. We close ourselves off from the infinite possibilities available to us. To shift out of a scarcity mindset, we must practice focusing on abundance. Every time we catch ourselves thinking about what we lack, we must redirect our focus to what we already have. This practice of gratitude shifts our energy from lack to abundance, opening the floodgates to greater prosperity. When we shift from scarcity to abundance, we begin to experience a greater flow of opportunities, resources, and wealth. The eternal flow of abundance is also about living in alignment with our highest purpose. When we are living in alignment with who we truly are, when we are doing the work we are meant to do, abundance naturally follows. Purpose and abundance are intricately connected. The more we follow our purpose, the more abundance flows toward us. This is not just about material wealth, but about the abundance of love, fulfillment, joy, and creativity that we experience when we are aligned with our true calling. Embracing the eternal flow of abundance requires patience and trust. It is not about forcing things to happen, but about allowing them to unfold in their own time. The universe has its own timing, and often, things happen exactly when they are meant to. Trusting in this divine timing removes the pressure to make things happen on our schedule. Instead, we learn to trust that the right opportunities, relationships, and circumstances will come at the perfect moment. As we continue to align ourselves with the eternal flow of abundance, we become more attuned to the natural rhythms of life. We begin to see that abundance is not something to be pursued, but something to be received. We stop chasing after external validation, wealth, or success, and begin to focus on inner peace, fulfillment, and joy. In doing so, we align ourselves with the energy of abundance, allowing it to flow into every aspect of our lives. The more we allow the flow of abundance to guide us, the more we begin to experience the magic of life. Opportunities appear out of nowhere, solutions to problems come easily, and success seems to come effortlessly. This is the natural state of the universe, a state of abundance. When we align with this flow, we tap into the infinite possibilities that surround us, and we begin to experience the true abundance that is our birthright. Chapter 13. The path of true fulfillment. Success is often equated with external achievements, wealth, recognition, and accolades. Yet, the truest form of success is not found in what we achieve, but in how we feel about ourselves as we navigate the journey of life. True fulfillment comes from a deep alignment with our purpose, the expression of our authentic selves, and the joy of experiencing life fully, without attachment to outcomes. The path of true fulfillment is about embracing the process of growth, finding contentment in the present moment, and recognizing that the journey itself holds as much meaning as the destination. Fulfillment is feeling a deep sense of satisfaction that arises when we are living in alignment with our values, purpose, and passion. It is the peace that comes from knowing we are on the right path, regardless of the external results. True fulfillment comes from within, and it cannot be measured by external standards of success. It is not about having more, but about appreciating what we already have and finding meaning in the everyday moments of life. The first step in the path of true fulfillment is to cultivate self. To live a life of fulfillment, we must first understand who we truly are, what we value, what we desire, and what makes us feel alive. Self-awareness allows us to live authentically, making decisions that are aligned with our deepest truths. When we are aware of our strengths, weaknesses, passions, and desires, we are better equipped to create a life that resonates with us on a soul level. Self-awareness also helps us identify the sources of external validation that may be influencing our decisions. We often live our lives based on societal expectations, the opinions of others, or the pressure to conform to certain standards of success. However, these external influences can prevent us from living authentically and lead us to feel unfulfilled. By cultivating self-awareness, we become more attuned to our own needs and desires, rather than being swayed by the expectations of others. The next step on the path to fulfillment is to live with intention. When we live intentionally, we are not simply going through the motions of life, reacting to external circumstances. Instead, we make conscious decisions that reflect our values and purpose. Intention is the power behind our actions. It gives direction and meaning to everything we do. By setting clear intentions and taking deliberate steps toward them, we create a life that is purposeful and aligned with our deepest desires. Living with intention also means being present in the moment. Often, we get caught up in the future, constantly striving for what's next, thinking that happiness will come once we achieve our next goal. However, fulfillment is found in the present moment. When we focus on the here and now, we begin to appreciate the beauty of the journey and the richness of life in its current form. The path of true fulfillment is about savoring each moment, finding joy in the process, and being fully engaged in the present, without constantly chasing after an elusive future. Another crucial aspect of fulfillment is the ability to embrace gratitude. Gratitude is the key to unlocking a sense of abundance in our lives. When we practice gratitude, we shift our focus from what we lack to what we already have. Gratitude helps us recognize the beauty and blessings in our lives, even during challenging times. The more we express gratitude, the more we open ourselves to the fullness of life. Fulfillment arises when we acknowledge that we are enough, just as we are, and that everything we need is already within us. Gratitude also helps us build resilience. When we face challenges or setbacks, it can be easy to focus on the negative. However, practicing gratitude helps us see the opportunities within adversity. Each challenge is an opportunity for growth, learning, and transformation. Gratitude helps us stay focused on the positives, even in difficult times, and allows us to maintain a sense of peace and fulfillment, regardless of external circumstances. The path of true fulfillment is also about embracing our passions and purpose. Fulfillment comes from living in alignment with what lights us up, what excites us, and what gives our lives meaning. When we are connected to our purpose, we are driven by a deeper sense of motivation and joy. Our passions fuel our actions, and our purpose gives us a sense of direction. By pursuing what we love, we create a life that feels fulfilling and meaningful. However, the pursuit of fulfillment does not mean avoiding challenges or difficulties. On the contrary, challenges are often the very things that shape our growth and bring us closer to our true selves. The path to fulfillment is not always easy. It requires courage, perseverance, and the willingness to face discomfort. But it is through these challenges that we learn, evolve, and ultimately experience a deeper sense of fulfillment. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more aligned with our true selves. One of the most important aspects of fulfillment is the ability to give back. True fulfillment comes not just from receiving, but from sharing our gifts with others. When we give to others, whether it's through our time, resources, or love, we create a sense of connection and purpose. Giving is a reminder that we are part of something greater than ourselves, and it reinforces the belief that abundance is a flow, not a finite resource. When we give, we not only contribute to the well-being of others, but we also enrich our own lives as we move toward fulfillment. It's important to recognize that success and fulfillment are not mutually exclusive. We can achieve our goals and manifest our desires while still staying grounded in the present moment. The path to fulfillment is not about waiting for success to bring us happiness. It's about finding happiness along the way. True fulfillment is about living with purpose, presence, and gratitude, regardless of the external results. The final step in the path of true fulfillment is to trust the process. Life is not a race, and fulfillment does not come from achieving everything all at once. It comes from living with intention, embracing gratitude, and staying aligned with our true purpose. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, and that every step you take brings you closer to the life you are meant to live. Fulfillment is not a destination, but a journey of growth, transformation, and deep connection with yourself and the world around you. True fulfillment is not simply about achieving success. It is about embracing the fullness of life in all its forms. It is about realizing that fulfillment exists in every moment of the journey, not just in the destination. When we walk the path of true fulfillment, we begin to see that everything we experience, every challenge, every joy, and every disappointment, is part of the larger tapestry of our growth and evolution. Success without fulfillment is hollow. But when we learn to cultivate fulfillment in every moment, we align with the deepest parts of ourselves and unlock the true richness of life. That the heart of true fulfillment is the cultivation of inner peace. Inner peace does not come from external circumstances. It arises from within. It is the ability to be content, centered, and balanced, regardless of what is happening in the world around you. To achieve this, we must cultivate a deep sense of acceptance and release the constant desire for things to be different. We must learn to accept ourselves and our circumstances fully, knowing that each moment is perfect as it is. Inner peace comes from letting go of the need for control. When we try to control every aspect of our lives, we create resistance. We resist the natural flow of life and block the abundance and opportunities that are available to us. But when we release control, we allow life to unfold naturally, in its own divine timing. This surrender does not mean passivity. It means trusting that everything is happening exactly as it should, and that we are exactly where we need to be. The more we embrace this surrender, the more we experience the deep peace that comes with knowing we are in alignment with the universe. Another key element of true fulfillment is the ability to live authentically. To live authentically is to express our true selves, to live in alignment with our values, and to honor our own truth. So often, we try to be someone we are not, either by conforming to societal expectations or by seeking external approval. But true fulfillment comes when we stop pretending and begin living as our most authentic selves. Living authentically requires courage. It requires the courage to speak our truth, to follow our own path, and to let go of the need for validation from others. It is not always easy to live authentically, especially when the world around us is constantly telling us how we should be. But when we step into our authentic power, we create a life that is truly ours, one that feels aligned, meaningful, and fulfilling. Living authentically also means embracing vulnerability. It means being willing to show up as we truly are, without hiding behind masks or pretending to be perfect. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It is a source of strength. It allows us to connect with others on a deeper level, to experience life more fully, and to be open to the beauty of life's imperfections. By embracing our vulnerability, we create space for true connection, both with ourselves and with others. To walk the path of true fulfillment, we must also be willing to practice self-compassion. Life is not always easy, and we will face challenges along the way. But instead of being hard on ourselves when things don't go as planned, we must practice self-compassion. Self-compassion is the ability to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding when we fail or make mistakes. It is the ability to forgive ourselves and start again, without judgment or criticism. Self-compassion is essential for maintaining our emotional well-being. Without it, we can easily become overwhelmed by negative self-talk, guilt, or shame. But with self-compassion, we give ourselves permission to be human. We acknowledge our struggles without letting them define us. We treat ourselves with the same love and understanding that we would offer to a dear friend. When we practice self-compassion, we create space for growth, healing, and true fulfillment. Another important aspect of the path of true fulfillment is the ability to cultivate meaningful relationships. While success and fulfillment are often seen as individual pursuits, true fulfillment is deeply interconnected with our relationships with others. It is the connection we share with our family, friends, and community that enriches our lives and gives them meaning. To experience true fulfillment, we must nurture these relationships and cultivate a sense of love, trust, and connection. Meaningful relationships are not about superficial interactions or seeking validation. They are about deep, authentic connections, based on mutual respect, understanding, and support. To cultivate meaningful relationships, we must be present with others, listen deeply, and offer our love and care without expecting anything in return. These relationships become a source of joy, inspiration, and strength on the path to fulfillment. As we walk this path, we also learn the importance of balance. Fulfillment is not about working non-stop or achieving more and more. It is about creating balance in every aspect of our lives, between work and rest, activity and stillness, giving and receiving. When we live in balance, we create harmony within ourselves and with the world around us. Balance allows us to feel grounded, centered, and at peace. No matter what is happening externally, true fulfillment comes from living a life that is aligned with your highest values and purpose. It comes from doing what you love, cultivating meaningful relationships, practicing self-compassion, and embracing your authenticity. When you walk the path of fulfillment, you realize that success is not something you have to chase. It is a natural byproduct of living in alignment with who you truly are. The final piece of the puzzle is to recognize that fulfillment is a lifelong journey. There is no final destination, no point at which you can say, "I have arrived." Fulfillment is not a static state, but a dynamic, ever-evolving process. As we grow, learn, and evolve, our understanding of fulfillment deepens. We discover new aspects of ourselves and our desires, and we continuously realign with our purpose. The journey to true fulfillment is about embracing each moment as it is, cultivating gratitude, and staying aligned with our values. It is about being present in our lives, loving ourselves fully, and sharing that love with others. True fulfillment comes when we stop seeking external approval and start living for ourselves. It is a path of self-discovery, growth, and love, one that leads to the greatest form of success, a life that feels rich, meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. Chapter 14. The Sacred Art of Letting Go. Letting go is one of the most profound and liberating practices on the path to fulfillment. It is the act of releasing attachment to outcomes, people, possessions, and even ideas. While many of us struggle with letting go, holding on to things that no longer serve us only keeps us tethered to the past, preventing us from moving forward. The sacred art of letting go is about surrendering control and trusting in the natural flow of life. It is about having the courage to release what is no longer aligned with our highest good, so that we can make room for new opportunities, growth, and abundance. Letting go is not about giving up. It is about making space for what truly serves us. In the process of letting go, we are not abandoning our dreams or desires, but rather opening ourselves to the possibility of a more fulfilling life. By releasing attachment, we free ourselves from the grip of the past and allow the present moment to guide us toward new possibilities. It is through this act of surrender that we experience true liberation. The first step in the sacred art of letting go is to recognize what no longer serves us. Often, we hold on to things, whether they are material possessions, old habits, or unhelpful beliefs, because we fear the unknown or feel a sense of security in holding on. However, the things we cling to may be preventing us from growing, evolving, and reaching our full potential. Letting go requires us to confront our attachments and ask ourselves, what is holding me back? What am I afraid to release? What beliefs or patterns do I need to let go of in order to move forward? Letting go also means releasing the need for control. Many of us believe that we must control every aspect of our lives in order to be successful. We try to control the outcomes of our actions, the behavior of others, and the timing of our desires. But true peace and fulfillment come when we learn to trust that life is unfolding exactly as it should. The universe has its own timing, and sometimes the best thing we can do is step back and allow things to unfold naturally. This trust is a key component of letting go. When we trust in the process, we release the need to force or manipulate outcomes, and we open ourselves to receive whatever is meant for us. That the act of letting go also requires a shift in our mindset. We must move away from the idea that we need to hold on to everything tightly, as if our security depends on it. In reality, the more we hold on to things, the more we create resistance and block the flow of abundance. Letting go is about creating space for new experiences, relationships, and opportunities to enter our lives. It is about releasing the old to make way for the new. When we let go, we open ourselves to the possibility of greater things that are more aligned with who we are now, not who we were in the past. Letting go is also about releasing the past. We often hold on to past hurts, regrets, or failures, believing that they define who we are. But the past has no power over us unless we allow it to. Letting go of past wounds is one of the most liberating acts we can perform. By releasing the weight of the past, we free ourselves from its grip and allow ourselves to live in the present moment. We stop carrying the emotional baggage of past experiences and instead create space for healing, growth, and new possibilities. Another important aspect of letting go is forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about condoning someone else's actions or forgetting what happened. It is about releasing the hold that resentment, anger, and bitterness have on our hearts. When we hold on to these negative emotions, we create energetic blockages that prevents us from experiencing peace and fulfillment. Forgiveness is an act of self-liberation. It frees us from the past and allows us to move forward with a lighter heart. By forgiving ourselves and others, we release the burden of pain and open ourselves to greater joy and love. Letting go also involves releasing the need to be right. Many of us hold on to our opinions, judgments, and beliefs, convinced that we must defend them at all costs. But true peace comes when we let go of the need to be right and allow others to have their own perspectives. Releasing the need to be right is a form of surrender. It is the understanding that there is no ultimate truth that we must cling to. Life is fluid, and our beliefs and perspectives evolve over time. By releasing the need to be right, we open ourselves to greater understanding, compassion, and connection. In the process of letting go, we also learn to release attachment to people. While it is natural to love and care for others, attachment to people can create dependency and an unhealthy sense of control. When we let go of attachment, we free both ourselves and others. We allow relationships to flourish naturally, without trying to control or manipulate them. Letting go of attachment does not mean abandoning love. It means allowing love to flow freely, without expectations or demands. It is about recognizing that people come and go in our lives for a reason, and that true love allows others the freedom to be themselves. Finally, letting go is an act of self-love. It is about recognizing that holding on to what no longer serves us is not in our best interest. When we let go, we create space for self-care, healing, and personal growth. It is an act of kindness toward ourselves, a recognition that we deserve to live a life free from the burdens of attachment, fear, and regret. Letting go is the ultimate act of self-liberation, allowing us to move forward with clarity, peace, and a deep sense of inner freedom. To practice the sacred art of letting go, begin by identifying what you are holding on to. Ask yourself what beliefs, relationships, or patterns are no longer serving your highest good. Take small, intentional steps toward releasing them. Practice forgiveness, trust, and surrender. Trust that, as you let go, you are making space for greater things to come into your life. Allow yourself to experience the freedom and peace that comes with releasing attachment and surrendering to the flow of life. As you continue the practice of letting go, it's essential to understand that this process is not a one-time event, but a continuous practice. Life is always evolving, and as we move through different stages of our journey, we will naturally encounter new attachments, expectations, and desires. The key to living in alignment with the flow of life is to continually assess and release what no longer serves us. Letting go is a constant act of trust and surrender, where we learn to honor our past while embracing the future with open arms. One of the profound lessons that letting go teaches us is the power of living in the present moment. So often, we are either consumed with regret over past decisions or anxiously anticipating what the future holds. But the present moment is the only place where true transformation occurs. When we let go of the need to control the past or the future, we create space for the richness of the present moment to unfold. This is where fulfillment lies, not in chasing what's to come, but in fully embracing what is right in front of us. The practice of letting go invites us to drop the weight of the past and future so that we can live fully in the here and now. One area where letting go is particularly transformative is in the realm of expectations. We often hold on to rigid expectations of how life should unfold, how our relationships should look, and how our success should manifest. When things don't go according to plan, we can feel disappointed, frustrated, or disheartened. Letting go of these expectations is an act of liberation. It allows life to unfold in its own way, without the pressure of trying to control every aspect. When we release expectations, we create space for the universe to deliver what is best for us, often in ways we could never have imagined. Another powerful aspect of letting go is releasing perfectionism. Many of us hold on to the belief that things must be perfect in order to be worthy or successful. This belief keeps us trapped in a cycle of dissatisfaction, as perfection is an unattainable goal. Letting go of perfectionism frees us from the burden of needing to get everything right. It allows us to embrace our imperfections as part of the beauty of our humanity. When we let go of the need for perfection, we give ourselves permission to fail, learn, and grow. It is through our mistakes and imperfections that we discover our true strength and resilience. Letting go also requires the courage to release attachments to identities that no longer serve us. Over time, we accumulate labels and identities, job titles, roles in relationships, social identities that become limiting. We may feel attached to the version of ourselves that we've created, even if it no longer aligns with our authentic self. Releasing these identities is a form of self-liberation. It's about allowing ourselves to evolve and become the person we are meant to be, free from the constraints of past labels. Letting go of these attachments opens up a vast space for new possibilities and allows us to step into our full potential. Letting go is also essential for cultivating inner peace. Holding on to grudges, resentments, or negative emotions can weigh us down and prevent us from experiencing the peace we desire. Resentment is like carrying a heavy burden. It consumes our energy, clouds our judgment, and drains our spirit. The act of forgiving and releasing resentment is a powerful way to let go. Forgiveness does not condone the actions of others, but it frees us from the emotional grip of anger and hurt. By letting go of negative emotions, we make room for healing, love, and peace. This act of releasing negative emotions also applies to the way we view ourselves. Many of us hold on to past mistakes or failures, believing they define us. We carry guilt, shame, or regret, which prevents us from stepping into our true power. Letting go of these feelings is an act of self-compassion. It's about acknowledging that we are not defined by our past actions or mistakes, but by our ability to learn, grow, and change. When we release the weight of guilt or shame, we allow ourselves to move forward with clarity and confidence. An important part of letting go is recognizing the impermanence of life. Everything in the universe is in a constant state of change. People come into our lives and leave, circumstances shift, and our desires evolve. Holding on to things that are meant to pass only creates resistance and frustration. Letting go allows us to honor the natural flow of life and embrace the beauty of change. When we accept that everything is temporary, we are able to appreciate each moment fully, knowing that it will pass, and new experiences will take its place. The more we practice letting go, the more we begin to feel lighter, freer, and more at peace. We no longer feel bound by the past or the future. Instead, we become more open to the present, more connected to the flow of life. By letting go of attachments, expectations, and negative emotions, we create a space for abundance, joy, and love to enter our lives. We realize that the act of letting go is not a loss, but a gain of freedom, peace, and alignment with our true self. To truly embody the sacred art of letting go, we must embrace the unknown. The fear of letting go often stems from our fear of the unknown. We fear that if we release control, we will be left with nothing. But in reality, it is in the unknown that the most beautiful opportunities arise. Letting go allows us to step into the unknown with faith, knowing that the universe will guide us and provide what we need. It is through embracing the unknown that we create space for new growth, new possibilities, and new experiences. Chapter 15. Living in harmony with the universe. Fast living in harmony with the universe is the ultimate expression of alignment and fulfillment. It is about embracing the natural flow of life and aligning ourselves with its rhythm. When we live in harmony with the universe, we stop fighting against the current, and instead, we allow ourselves to be carried toward our highest good. This alignment brings peace, joy, and a deep sense of purpose. It allows us to trust that everything we need is already available to us, and that life is always guiding us to exactly where we need to be. The first step in living in harmony with the universe is to cultivate a deep sense of trust. Trust is the foundation of all alignment. When we trust the universe, we trust that everything is unfolding as it should. Even when we don't understand why things are happening, we let go of the need for control and allow ourselves to be guided by something greater than ourselves. Trusting the universe means that we believe everything is happening for our highest good, even when the road is unclear. Trusting in the universe requires a shift in perspective. We must learn to see challenges and setbacks not as failures, but as opportunities for growth. Every obstacle is a lesson that brings us closer to the wisdom we need to fulfill our purpose. When we trust that everything is part of the divine plan, we are able to embrace even the most difficult moments with a sense of peace and acceptance. This trust enables us to release fear and worry, knowing that the universe is always supporting us, even in times of uncertainty. Living in harmony with the universe also requires mindfulness and presence. The universe speaks to us in subtle ways through our intuition, synchronicities, and the signs we encounter along the way. To hear these messages, we must be fully present in the moment. Mindfulness allows us to tune into the signals the universe is sending us, helping us make decisions that align with our true purpose. It is through mindfulness that we become aware of the flow of life and learn to move with it, rather than against it. Another essential element of living in harmony with the universe is surrender. Surrendering does not mean giving up or resigning ourselves to passivity. It means releasing the need to control the outcomes of our efforts. When we surrender, we trust that the universe knows what is best for us, and we allow things to unfold in their own time. Surrender is an act of faith. It is the recognition that we are part of a larger plan and that the universe is always guiding us toward our highest good. By surrendering, we free ourselves from the pressure of forcing things to happen and create space for the universe to work its magic. Surrender also involves releasing attachment to specific outcomes. We may have a clear vision of what we want, but when we attach ourselves too strongly to the outcome, we create resistance. When we let go of our attachment to how things should unfold, we allow the universe to surprise us with even greater possibilities. Surrendering to the flow of life means being open to whatever comes, trusting that it will be for our highest good, even if it doesn't look exactly as we expected. In addition to trust and surrender, living in harmony with the universe requires cultivating a deep sense of gratitude. Gratitude is the energy that opens the door to abundance. When we express gratitude for the blessings in our lives, we align ourselves with the universe's flow of prosperity. Gratitude shifts our focus from lack to abundance, allowing us to see the abundance that already exists in our lives. The more we practice gratitude, the more the universe responds by bringing us even more blessings to be thankful for. Gratitude is the universe's language, and by speaking it, we invite more goodness into our lives. Living in harmony with the universe also involves being in tune with our natural rhythms. Just as nature has its cycles day and night, the changing seasons, the ebb and flow of the tides, so too we have our own rhythms. There are times when we are meant to take action, and there are times when we are meant to rest and recharge. When we honor these rhythms, we are able to move through life with greater ease. Pushing against our natural flow leads to burnout, frustration, and resistance. But when we honor the times of rest and renewal, we create the space for our energy to be replenished so that we can take inspired action when the time is right. To live in harmony with the universe, we must also learn to let go of fear and resistance. Fear is one of the greatest obstacles to alignment. It keeps us stuck in the past or anxious about the future, preventing us from fully embracing the present moment. Fear tells us that we are not enough, that we are unworthy, and that we must control everything in order to feel safe. But when we let go of fear, we open ourselves to the flow of life. We stop resisting what is and start embracing the present moment with acceptance and grace. Living in harmony with the universe is also about nurturing our connection to nature. Nature is one of the most powerful reflections of the universe's flow. When we spend time in nature, we tap into the energy of the earth, which reminds us of our connection to all that is. Nature teaches us the importance of balance, patience, and trust. It shows us that everything has its season and that all things come in their own time. By spending time in nature, we recalibrate our energy and align ourselves with the natural rhythms of life. The final step in living in harmony with the universe is living with integrity. Integrity means being true to our word, being honest with ourselves and others, and acting in alignment with our values. When we live with integrity, we are in alignment with the universal laws that govern life. We attract the energy that matches our authenticity, and we begin to experience greater flow in our lives. Living with integrity creates a sense of inner peace and alignment, allowing us to move through life with confidence and grace. Living in harmony with the universe is a lifelong practice. It requires trust, surrender, mindfulness, gratitude, and alignment with our deepest values. When we live in harmony with the universe, we experience a sense of peace, fulfillment, and flow that permeates every aspect of our lives. We realize that we are not separate from the universe but are, in fact, an integral part of it. By aligning with the universal flow, we create a life that is full of love, abundance, and joy. As we continue on the journey of living in harmony with the universe, it becomes clear that this alignment is not a one-time achievement, but an ongoing practice. The universe operates in cycles, rhythms, and flows, and when we attune ourselves to these natural patterns, we move with greater ease and grace through the world. To live in harmony with the universe means to embrace change, trust in divine timing, and recognize the interconnectedness of all things. It means seeing life as a series of opportunities to grow, learn, and align with our higher purpose. One of the most profound practices of living in harmony with the universe is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of being fully present in each moment, without judgment or distraction. When we practice mindfulness, we let go of the past and future, grounding ourselves in the here and now. This presence allows us to tune into the subtle messages and signs the universe is sending us. Whether it's through intuition, synchronicity, or feelings, the universe communicates with us in ways that are often too quiet to hear if we are not present. Mindfulness helps us cultivate this awareness, making it easier to live in harmony with the flow of life. Living in harmony with the universe also requires embracing uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and we cannot control the twists and turns that come our way. However, when we trust that the universe has a greater plan for us, we can surrender the need for certainty. Uncertainty becomes less of a source of anxiety and more of an invitation to grow. When we let go of the need for complete control, we allow ourselves to experience the beauty and freedom that comes with surrender. This freedom opens the door to new opportunities and experiences that we may not have imagined before. Another critical component of living in harmony with the universe is cultivating a sense of compassion, both for ourselves and others. Compassion is the ability to see the suffering of others and offer support, kindness, and understanding. When we approach life with compassion, we release the judgment that separates us from others. Compassion is the glue that binds us together, reminding us that we are all connected. By practicing compassion, we align with the universal law of love, which is the foundation of all creation. This energy of love flows back to us, creating deeper connections and a more harmonious existence. To live in harmony with the universe, we must also cultivate patience. The universe unfolds in its own time, and while we may want things to happen quickly, we must remember that everything has a divine timing. Patience allows us to trust that things are unfolding as they should, even if they don't happen according to our plans. It is the belief that the universe will provide exactly what we need, exactly when we need it. When we practice patience, we stop forcing and pushing, and we allow life to unfold naturally. Living in harmony with the universe also requires embracing our intuition. Intuition is our inner guidance system, the quiet voice within that leads us toward our highest good. To align with the universe, we must learn to trust and follow our intuition, even when it doesn't always make logical sense. Our intuition is connected to the wisdom of the universe, and when we listen to it, we are guided toward the experiences and opportunities that are in alignment with our true purpose. The more we trust and act on our intuition, the more we strengthen our connection to the universe's flow. The universe is abundant, and when we live in alignment with its energy, we tap into this abundance. However, we must first let go of the belief that we are separate from it. The universe is not something out there, it is within us and around us. We are a part of the flow of life, and when we recognize this, we begin to see opportunities everywhere. Abundance is not a scarce resource that we must compete for. It is a natural state of being that we can tap into at any moment. Living in harmony with the universe means opening ourselves to the flow of abundance, trusting that what is meant for us will always come in divine timing. Another powerful way to live in harmony with the universe is through the practice of gratitude. Gratitude helps us to see the abundance that is already present in our lives. It shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, cultivating an attitude of appreciation. Gratitude raises our vibration and aligns us with the energy of abundance, drawing more blessings into our lives. By acknowledging and appreciating the small blessings, we invite the universe to bring us even more. Gratitude is a powerful tool for living in alignment with the universe and for attracting greater prosperity, love, and joy into our lives. Finally, living in harmony with the universe requires us to release attachments and judgments. We must learn to let go of the things, people, and outcomes that we cling to out of fear or insecurity. Attachment creates resistance, and resistance blocks the flow of abundance. When we release attachment, we allow the universe to guide us in ways that are far beyond our imagination. We let go of the need to control and surrender to the natural flow of life. This surrender creates space for the universe to provide what we need, and it opens us to experiences and opportunities that we may not have been able to see before. Living in harmony with the universe is a practice of trust, faith, and surrender. It is about aligning ourselves with the natural rhythms and cycles of life, embracing change, and allowing ourselves to be guided by something greater than ourselves. When we live in harmony with the universe, we experience peace, joy, and fulfillment. We no longer struggle or fight against the current, but instead, we flow with it, trusting that everything is unfolding as it should. The more we live in alignment with the universe, the more we experience the beauty and abundance that is available to us in every moment. Chapter 16. The Infinite Power of Presence. The power of presence is one of the most profound forces available to us. It is the ability to fully immerse ourselves in the present moment, free from the distractions of the past or the anxiety about the future. When we live in the present, we tap into an infinite well of power, peace, and clarity. In this moment, everything we need exists, and by connecting to the present, we align ourselves with the flow of life. The infinite power of presence is the key to experiencing true peace, fulfillment, and abundance. The first step to harnessing the power of presence is to cultivate mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of being fully aware and attentive to the present moment. It requires us to focus on our breath, our sensations, and our thoughts without judgment. In the practice of mindfulness, we stop thinking about what happened in the past or what might happen in the future. Instead, we focus on the here and now, appreciating each moment for what it is. Mindfulness teaches us to observe our thoughts and emotions without attachment. Often, we become consumed by our thoughts, allowing them to shape our reality. But through mindfulness, we learn to recognize that thoughts are not facts. They are transient, like clouds passing through the sky. When we detach from our thoughts and observe them as they arise and pass, we regain control over our mental landscape. This practice of detachment allows us to experience life with greater clarity and peace. The more we practice mindfulness, the more we begin to feel the power of presence. We no longer live in the future or the past, but in the moment, and in the moment, we are connected to the infinite possibilities that exist. When we are fully present, we are able to hear the subtle whispers of our intuition, recognize opportunities, and respond with wisdom. We stop reacting impulsively to the world around us and instead act with intention and clarity. The power of presence allows us to navigate life's challenges with grace and ease. The power of presence is also deeply connected to our ability to truly listen to ourselves and others. Listening is not just about hearing words, it is about being fully attuned to the energy behind the words. When we listen deeply, we connect with the essence of the person speaking and understand their true message. Similarly, when we listen to ourselves, we connect with our inner wisdom and intuition, allowing us to make decisions that are in alignment with our highest good. True listening is an act of presence, as it requires us to be fully engaged in the moment, free from distractions and judgments. One of the most profound effects of presence is its ability to dissolve stress and anxiety. When we are present, we are not burdened by the weight of past regrets or future worries. The present moment is the only place where true peace exists. Stress and anxiety arise when we are disconnected from the moment, when we focus on what is not yet or what has already passed. But when we are fully present, we realize that everything we need is already here, in this moment. By practicing presence, we shift our focus from what is lacking to what is abundant right now. Living in the present also helps us to cultivate patience. Patience is the ability to wait for the right moment without frustration or impatience. In a world that values instant gratification, patience is often seen as a virtue that is difficult to attain. However, when we practice presence, we naturally cultivate patience. We stop rushing, stop forcing, and instead trust that things are unfolding in their own time. Patience allows us to stay calm and centered, even in the face of delays or setbacks. It is the quiet confidence that all will come in its perfect timing. Another essential aspect of presence is the cultivation of gratitude. When we are present, we are able to appreciate the beauty and abundance of the world around us. Gratitude is a natural byproduct of presence. When we stop rushing and start noticing the small blessings in our lives, we naturally become grateful for them. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we already have, creating an energy of abundance and attracting more blessings into our lives. The more we practice gratitude, the more we align ourselves with the infinite flow of abundance that exists in the present moment. Presence also allows us to deepen our connection with others. When we are truly present with someone, we offer them the gift of our undivided attention and love. This deep connection fosters trust, understanding, and compassion. We are able to listen without judgment, respond with empathy, and create deeper, more meaningful relationships. Presence allows us to see others for who they truly are, beyond their actions or words, and to connect with them on a soul level. the power of presence also teaches us the importance of self-compassion. In our busy lives, we often forget to be kind to ourselves. We may judge ourselves for our mistakes, push ourselves too hard, or neglect our own needs. But when we practice presence, we stop being critical of ourselves and instead offer ourselves the same love and compassion that we would offer a friend. Self-compassion allows us to accept ourselves as we are, without judgment, and to recognize that we are worthy of love, success, and fulfillment. To cultivate the power of presence, we must also learn to embrace stillness. In a world filled with distractions and noise, stillness is a rare and precious gift. Stillness allows us to reconnect with ourselves and the universe, to hear our inner voice, and to find peace in the present moment. It is in stillness that we can hear the whispers of our soul and align with the deeper purpose of our lives. Taking time for stillness each day, whether through meditation, quiet reflection, or simply being in nature, nourishes our spirit and strengthens our connection to the universe. Ultimately, the power of presence is about living fully in each moment. It is about recognizing that the present is all we ever have. When we live in the present, we experience life with a sense of joy, peace, and fulfillment. We stop waiting for the future to bring us happiness or success, and instead, we embrace the present moment as the source of all fulfillment. By practicing presence, we align ourselves with the flow of life, creating a life of abundance, peace, and joy. As we continue to explore the infinite power of presence, it becomes clear that this practice is not just about being present in the moment, but about transforming our entire way of being. When we master the art of presence, we step into a state of alignment with the universe. In this state, we are not rushing, pushing, or striving. We are simply being, allowing life to unfold. With ease and grace, presence is the bridge between our desires and their manifestation. It connects us to the infinite potential that exists in each moment, where we can create, grow, and experience life in its fullest form. The more we practice presence, the more we begin to see that the essence of life is in the details. In the past, we may have been distracted by the urgency of the next goal, the next achievement, or the next milestone. But when we embrace presence, we recognize that life's true richness lies in the simple moments: our morning coffee, the sound of rain, a quiet conversation, or the warmth of a hug. By bringing our full attention to these small details, we connect with the beauty of life in its most authentic form. One of the most transformative aspects of presence is its ability to release the weight of regret and worry. Regret keeps us trapped in the past, preventing us from fully experiencing the present. Worry pulls our attention away from what is happening now, making us anxious about the future. But presence frees us from both. It brings us back to the now, where we can accept what is and let go of the mental and emotional baggage of past mistakes or future fears. The practice of presence teaches us that the present moment is the only place where true power lies. In this moment, everything we need is already within us. Living in the infinite power of presence also requires us to embrace the flow of life without resistance. Life is not always predictable, and the path to our desires is rarely linear. However, when we practice presence, we become less attached to a rigid vision of how things should unfold. We learn to flow with life, trusting that each twist, turn, and unexpected detour is part of our greater journey. Presence allows us to see these moments not as obstacles, but as opportunities to grow, learn, and evolve. The more we trust the flow of life, the more we realize that the universe is always supporting us. Every experience, every challenge, and every success is a reflection of the cosmic energy that moves through us. By staying present, we allow this energy to guide us toward what we truly desire. We stop trying to force things to happen, and instead, allow them to unfold with ease. In this way, presence is not just a passive state, it is an active practice of allowing life to guide us. Another powerful aspect of presence is its ability to enhance our connection to others. When we are present with others, we give them the gift of our full attention. We stop thinking about what we need to say next or how we are perceived, and instead, we listen deeply. This deep listening fosters greater understanding, trust, and intimacy in our relationships. By being fully present in our interactions, we create stronger bonds with those around us and open ourselves to richer, more meaningful connections. Presence also allows us to experience life with greater joy. In the hustle of everyday life, it's easy to become numb to the simple pleasures that surround us. Yet when we practice presence, we awaken to the beauty of the world around us. Whether it's the sound of birds singing, the feel of sunlight on our skin, or the taste of our favorite meal, these moments become more vibrant and meaningful. Presence connects us to the joy of being alive, helping us cultivate a sense of wonder and gratitude for each moment. As we deepen our practice of presence, we also cultivate a stronger sense of intuition. Intuition is our inner guidance system, and when we are present, we are better able to listen to its messages. Intuition speaks quietly, often through a feeling or a subtle nudge, and it requires us to be still enough to hear it. The more we practice presence, the more we trust our intuition and allow it to guide our decisions. This inner knowing becomes a powerful tool for navigating life, helping us make choices that are aligned with our highest good. Living in the infinite power of presence also involves self. It is the ability to accept ourselves fully, without judgment or criticism. When we are present, we are able to witness our thoughts and feelings without identifying with them. We understand that we are not our thoughts or emotions. We are the observer. This allows us to release the need to be perfect and to embrace ourselves exactly as we are. Presence invites us to love and accept ourselves unconditionally, knowing that we are worthy of all the blessings the universe has to offer. Lastly, the infinite power of presence requires us to release attachment to results. When we are attached to a specific outcome, we create resistance. We may feel frustrated or disappointed when things don't unfold as we imagined. But when we practice presence, we let go of the need for a particular result. We trust that everything is happening for our highest good, even if the outcome is different from what we expected. This non-attachment allows us to remain at peace, knowing that the universe is always guiding us toward our best life. Living in the power of presence is not just a practice, it is a way of life. It is the art of fully immersing ourselves in each moment, embracing life as it is, and trusting that everything is unfolding perfectly. When we live in the present, we experience the fullness of life, free from the weight of the past and the anxiety of the future. We connect with the joy, peace, and abundance that are always available to us, and we create a life of meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. The infinite power of presence is available to all of us, and it is through this power that we step into our highest potential. Chapter 17. The Divine Dance of Balance. Balance is often misunderstood as a static state, something that we must strive to attain and hold on to. However, true balance is not about perfection. It is about harmony. It is the art of integrating various aspects of life, work and rest, action and stillness, giving and receiving into a rhythm that aligns with our highest self. The divine dance of balance is about learning how to flow with the natural rhythms of life, embracing both the light and the dark, the challenges and the joys, and finding a sense of peace in the ever-changing dynamics of life. Balance is a dynamic process, not a fixed destination. Just as nature shifts and evolves with the seasons, so too does our sense of balance. At times, we may need to focus more on our work, while at other times, we need to prioritize rest and rejuvenation. Balance is not about dividing our time perfectly, but about listening to the needs of our body, mind, and soul, and responding with conscious intention. One of the core aspects of the divine dance of balance is understanding the importance of self-care. We often give so much of ourselves to others or to our work that we forget to nurture our own well-being. True balance comes when we learn to prioritize our health, our emotional needs, and our spiritual growth. Without self-care, we become depleted, and the balance of our lives tips out of alignment. By taking time to rest, recharge, and care for ourselves, we replenish our energy, making it possible for us to give more to the world without feeling overwhelmed or drained. Self-care is not just about physical rest. It is also about emotional and mental renewal. It is essential to check in with ourselves regularly and acknowledge when we need to step back, take a break, or seek support. This practice of self-awareness allows us to stay attuned to our needs and ensures that we are not neglecting ourselves in the pursuit of external goals. Another vital component of balance is the integration of stillness and action. We live in a world that often praises hustle, productivity, and constant doing, but true balance comes when we learn to balance the energy of doing with the energy of being. The divine dance of balance is not about endless action, but about knowing when to rest and when to act. There are times when we must push forward with intention and effort, but there are also times when we must surrender to the flow, allowing life to unfold without forcing it. Stillness is a powerful tool for cultivating balance. It is in stillness that we reconnect with our inner selves, reflect on our desires, and tune in to the wisdom that resides within. In a world that is constantly moving, stillness provides the space to recalibrate, restore, and align ourselves with our true purpose. When we allow ourselves to rest in the stillness, we gain clarity, insight, and direction. This clarity then informs our actions, making them more effective and aligned with our highest good. The practice of balance also requires us to embrace both the light and the dark aspects of life. We often seek to avoid discomfort, fear, and sadness, believing that happiness and success can only exist in their absence. However, the divine dance of balance teaches us that both light and dark are necessary for our growth. The dark moments of life, moments of pain, grief, or uncertainty, often the ones that bring us the deepest lessons. By embracing these moments with grace, we grow stronger, more resilient, and more compassionate. Similarly, it is important to recognize that our achievements and successes are not the only things that define us. We are also shaped by our struggles, our failures, and our challenges. When we embrace both aspects of our journey, we become more whole and integrated. Balance comes when we accept the full spectrum of human experience, the highs and the lows, and allow them to guide us toward deeper wisdom and understanding. One of the most powerful aspects of balance is learning to trust the natural cycles of life. Just as nature goes through cycles of growth, rest, and renewal, so too do we. There are seasons in life when we are meant to take bold action, build, and create. But there are also seasons when we must slow down, reflect, and restore our energy. These cycles are natural, and when we trust them, we allow ourselves to move through life with greater ease and flow. When we resist these natural cycles, we create imbalance. We may push ourselves too hard during times when we need rest, or we may procrastinate during times when we should be taking action. Balance is about flowing with the natural rhythms of life, knowing when to be active and when to be passive, when to give and when to receive. By trusting these rhythms, we create harmony within ourselves and in our interactions with the world. The divine dance of balance also involves cultivating a healthy relationship with time. Many of us feel as though time is constantly slipping away, and we rush through life in an attempt to get everything done. However, true balance comes when we learn to manage our time consciously, prioritizing what is truly important and allowing ourselves the freedom to rest and rejuvenate. Time is a precious resource, and by using it wisely, we create a life that is both fulfilling and balanced. In our pursuit of balance, it is also important to cultivate gratitude. Gratitude helps us appreciate the present moment and the life we have, rather than constantly striving for more. When we practice gratitude, we shift our focus from what is lacking to what is abundant in our lives. Gratitude helps us see the beauty in the ordinary moments and brings us into alignment with the energy of abundance. Lastly, the divine dance of balance teaches us the importance of flexibility. Life is unpredictable, and our circumstances are constantly changing. When we hold rigid expectations of how life should be, we create stress and resistance. But when we cultivate flexibility, we are able to adapt to changing circumstances with grace and ease. Flexibility allows us to navigate life's challenges without becoming overwhelmed. It is the willingness to bend without breaking, to flow with the changes rather than resist them. True balance is not about perfection. It is about harmony. It is about learning to dance with the rhythms of life, embracing both the light and the dark, and cultivating a deep sense of trust and presence in each moment. As we move through life, we must remember that balance is a journey, not a destination. It requires us to stay attuned to our needs, adjust our course when necessary, and remain open to the flow of life. By practicing the divine dance of balance, we create a life that is both fulfilling and harmonious, where every aspect of our being is aligned with our deepest desires. Acceptance is one of the most transformative practices on the path to personal fulfillment. It is the key to experiencing peace in the present moment and finding true contentment. In a world that constantly pushes us to change, improve, and strive for something more, acceptance teaches us the power of simply being. It is the ability to embrace ourselves, our lives, and the world around us as they are, without judgment or resistance. The sacred power of acceptance is about allowing life to unfold as it will, trusting that everything is happening for a reason and that we are exactly where we need to be. Acceptance begins with self-acceptance. It is the recognition that we are worthy of love, success, and fulfillment exactly as we are right now. So often, we wait for some future version of ourselves to feel worthy when we are more successful, more healed, or more accomplished. But true acceptance comes when we embrace ourselves in the present, with all our imperfections and flaws. When we accept ourselves, we stop trying to change for the sake of others, or to meet external expectations. We begin to live authentically, honoring our unique journey and understanding that we are perfect in our imperfection. Self-acceptance also means releasing the need for external validation. Many of us seek approval from others, whether it's from our family, friends, or society at large. We may base our self-worth on the praise or criticism we receive. However, true peace comes when we no longer rely on external sources for our validation. We must learn to validate ourselves, to acknowledge our own worth and value. Self-acceptance allows us to stand firm in our authenticity without needing others to confirm our place in the world. The sacred power of acceptance also extends to the situations and circumstances in our lives. Acceptance is not about resignation or passivity. It is about understanding that life is full of uncertainty and change. Sometimes, things will unfold exactly as we wish, and other times, they will not. Acceptance teaches us to be at peace with whatever arises, trusting that even in challenging times, we are growing, learning, and evolving. Acceptance means embracing both the good and the bad, the highs and the lows, knowing that each moment is a part of the greater journey. Letting go of the need to control every outcome is another aspect of acceptance. We often hold on to the belief that if we control everything in our lives, we can avoid pain or failure. However, control creates resistance, and resistance creates stress. When we practice acceptance, we release our need for control and trust that things will unfold as they are meant to. Acceptance allows us to let go of the burden of having to make everything perfect and to embrace the flow of life as it comes. Acceptance also plays a crucial role in our relationships. When we accept others for who they truly are, without trying to change them or impose our expectations upon them, we open the door to deeper, more authentic connections. The people in our lives are not here to fit into the mold we create for them. They are here to grow and evolve in their own way. By accepting others without judgment, we create space for them to be themselves, and for the relationship to flourish naturally. Acceptance in relationships fosters love, trust, and compassion, allowing us to connect on a deeper level and experience the beauty of unconditional love. In addition to accepting others, it is essential to practice acceptance of the circumstances we find ourselves in. Life is unpredictable, and we cannot always control the external factors that influence our lives. But acceptance allows us to navigate through challenging situations with grace. Instead of resisting or fighting against what is, we learn to embrace it as an opportunity for growth. Whether we are facing personal challenges, health issues, or career setbacks, acceptance helps us shift our perspective, allowing us to see the lesson in every experience. The sacred power of acceptance also requires us to release regret and guilt. Often, we are burdened by the choices we have made in the past, wishing we could go back and do things differently. But the truth is that we cannot change the past. Acceptance means letting go of these regrets and embracing the present moment. It means forgiving ourselves for the mistakes we've made and learning from them, instead of letting them define us. The more we release regret, the more we open ourselves to peace and freedom. One of the most profound ways that acceptance transforms our lives is by bringing us into alignment with the flow of life. When we accept ourselves, others, and the world as they are, we stop resisting the natural rhythms and cycles of life. This alignment creates a sense of inner peace, as we no longer feel the need to fight against life's challenges or try to control outcomes. Instead, we learn to flow with the current of life, trusting that it will take us where we need to go. The power of acceptance also lies in its ability to foster gratitude. Acceptance allows us to see the blessings in every situation, even the ones that appear difficult at first. When we accept life as it is, we begin to appreciate the beauty in every moment, no matter how small. Gratitude flows naturally from acceptance, as we recognize that even the challenges are an essential part of our growth. By practicing gratitude, we enhance our experience of life and attract more of what we are grateful for. Living with acceptance does not mean we stop striving for our goals or seeking to improve ourselves. It simply means that we do so from a place of peace and contentment. When we are at peace with where we are, we are free to take action from a place of clarity and purpose, rather than desperation or frustration. Acceptance allows us to pursue our goals with confidence, knowing that whatever happens, we are exactly where we are meant to be. True acceptance is a form of surrender. It is surrendering to the present moment, to the flow of life, and to our own inner wisdom. It is the recognition that we do not need to fight against life. We only need to trust and align with its rhythms. By practicing the sacred art of acceptance, we experience deep peace, joy, and freedom. We are no longer bound by the past, controlled by the future, or weighed down by resistance. Instead, we live fully in the present, embracing each moment with love, compassion, and gratitude. Chapter 18. The courage to evolve. Evolution is not just a biological process. It is a spiritual journey that each of us undergoes in our lifetime. To evolve means to grow, to change, and to expand beyond who we once were. It is about becoming the highest version of ourselves, embracing the unknown, and daring to step into a life that challenges us, inspires us, and calls us to be more. The courage to evolve is what propels us forward in the face of fear, uncertainty, and resistance. It is the willingness to leave behind what no longer serves us and to embrace the unknown with open arms. The journey of evolution begins with self-awareness. To evolve, we must first understand who we are, where we've been, and where we want to go. Self-awareness is the foundation of change because it allows us to identify the areas in our lives that need growth and transformation. Without self-awareness, we remain stuck in patterns, habits, and mindsets that limit our potential. When we take the time to reflect on our lives, to assess our beliefs, behaviors, and goals, we create the space for evolution to take place. One of the greatest challenges in the process of evolution is the fear of change. We are creatures of habit, and the unknown can often feel threatening. Change brings uncertainty, and uncertainty can trigger fear. However, the courage to evolve comes when we understand that change is the only constant in life. To resist change is to resist life itself. True evolution happens when we embrace the unknown with faith, knowing that it is through change that we grow and become more aligned with our true purpose. Evolution requires letting go of old identities. As we grow, our roles, labels, and definitions of ourselves shift. We are not static beings. We are constantly evolving, and with each phase of life, we become someone new. This can be a deeply unsettling process because it challenges the comfort of who we once were, but it is necessary. Holding on to outdated identities keeps us from stepping into the fullness of who we are becoming. The courage to evolve means releasing who we thought we were so we can make room for who we are becoming. The courage to evolve also involves embracing discomfort. Growth is inherently uncomfortable. It requires stepping outside of our comfort zones and doing things that feel unfamiliar or difficult. This discomfort is a sign that we are on the right path. When we are comfortable, we are not growing, we are stagnating. Discomfort is the doorway to transformation, and to evolve, we must be willing to face it with bravery and openness. The more we embrace discomfort, the more resilient and adaptable we become. Another aspect of the courage to evolve is the willingness to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is not weakness, it is a strength. It takes courage to show up as our true selves, especially when we are in the process of transformation. During times of evolution, we may feel insecure, uncertain, or even afraid. But it is through vulnerability that we connect with others, gain deeper self-awareness, and open ourselves to the possibilities of life. Vulnerability is what allows us to be real, to express our true emotions, and to embrace all that we are becoming. To evolve, we must also learn to let go of the need for external validation. So much of our growth can be stunted by the desire for approval, recognition, and praise from others. But true evolution comes from within. When we rely on others to define our worth, we limit our ability to grow. The courage to evolve means trusting our own inner wisdom and aligning with our highest truth, regardless of what others think. It is about following our own path, even when it deviates from societal expectations or norms. In the process of evolution, we must also cultivate resilience. The path to growth is rarely linear. We will face setbacks, failures, and challenges along the way. However, it is not these challenges that define us, but how we respond to them. Resilience is the ability to keep going, even when things don't go as planned. It is the willingness to rise after every fall, to learn from mistakes, and to keep moving forward, Resilience is what allows us to continue evolving, no matter how difficult the journey may be. The courage to evolve also requires the willingness to be open to new experiences. We often get stuck in our routines, in the comfort of what we know, and in the familiar patterns that shape our lives. But evolution requires us to step into the unknown and embrace new experiences with curiosity and wonder. By being open to new perspectives, people, and opportunities, we allow ourselves to expand and evolve in ways we never thought possible. Evolution also involves embracing the wisdom of the past without being bound by it. Our past experiences, both good and bad, have shaped us into who we are today, but they do not define us. The courage to evolve means acknowledging our past, learning from it, and then moving forward without being held back by it. We honor the lessons of our past, but we do not allow them to limit our future. The more we release the weight of the past, the more we make space for new experiences and growth. The courage to evolve is the courage to step into our highest potential. It is the willingness to grow, to change, and to expand into the fullest expression of who we are meant to be. Evolution is a sacred journey, and it requires us to trust ourselves, trust the process, and trust that we are always being guided toward our highest good. As we evolve, we become more aligned with our true purpose and potential. We shed the old, the outdated, and the limiting, and we step into a life that is more authentic, fulfilling, and meaningful. The courage to evolve is not just about achieving success or reaching goals. It is about becoming who we are truly meant to be. It is about embracing our journey with faith, knowing that each step, no matter how difficult, is leading us toward a life of greater purpose and fulfillment. Chapter 19. The Light of Inner Peace. Inner peace is the foundation of a fulfilling and joyful life. It is the calm, still center within us that remains undisturbed, no matter what happens on the outside. In a world filled with distractions, chaos, and constant movement, finding inner peace is one of the most profound gifts we can give ourselves. It is the key to living a life that is aligned with our deepest values, desires, and purpose. The light of inner peace shines brightly when we learn to cultivate stillness, harmony, and balance within ourselves. The first step in finding inner peace is learning to quiet the mind. Our minds are often filled with endless thoughts, worries, and distractions. We constantly think about the past, the future, or the next task on our to-do list. But true peace cannot be found in the noise of the mind. To find peace, we must learn to still the mind, to quiet the constant chatter, and to be present in the moment. Meditation is one of the most powerful tools for quieting the mind. By sitting in stillness and focusing on our breath, we create space for our thoughts to settle, allowing the stillness within to emerge. Stillness is not the absence of activity. It is the presence of calm amidst activity. We can cultivate stillness even when we are busy or surrounded by chaos. It is the ability to remain grounded, centered, and at peace, no matter what is happening around us. When we practice stillness, we create a space where peace can naturally arise. This peace is not dependent on external circumstances. It is an internal state that we can cultivate and carry with us wherever we go. Another important aspect of inner peace is the practice of acceptance. So often, we resist what is happening in our lives. We fight against challenges, disappointments, and uncomfortable emotions, believing that we need to change or fix everything. But resistance only creates more tension and turmoil. Acceptance, on the other hand, allows us to make peace with the present moment, exactly as it is. When we accept life as it is, we release the need to control or change everything. We allow ourselves to be at peace with what is, knowing that everything is unfolding as it should. Acceptance does not mean resignation or passivity. It means recognizing that we cannot control everything, and that we do not need to. When we accept the present moment, we free ourselves from the anxiety and stress of trying to change things beyond our control. We create space for peace, knowing that the universe has its own timing and plan. By embracing the flow of life, we can remain calm, even in the face of uncertainty or difficulty. Inner peace also requires letting go of judgment. We often judge ourselves and others, creating a sense of separation and discord. Judgment breeds negativity and reinforces our sense of disconnection. But when we let go of judgment, we open ourselves to greater compassion, understanding, and love. We begin to see others for who they truly are, without the filter of our own biases and expectations. We also learn to be kinder and more accepting of ourselves, letting go of the critical voice inside that tells us, we are not enough. Another key to inner peace is forgiveness. Holding on to anger, resentment, or hurt only keeps us trapped in the past. Forgiveness is the key to releasing these negative emotions and allowing peace to enter. Forgiveness does not mean condoning or forgetting the actions of others, but it means releasing the hold that anger and resentment have over us. When we forgive, we free ourselves from the pain of the past and open our hearts to healing. Forgiveness allows us to move forward with peace, knowing that we are not defined by our past experiences. Living with inner peace also involves setting healthy boundaries. Often, we allow the demands and expectations of others to overwhelm us, leading to stress and burnout. But when we set clear boundaries, we protect our peace and well-being. Boundaries are not about shutting others out. They are about honoring our needs and respecting our own energy. By learning to say no when necessary and creating space for ourselves, we ensure that our inner peace is not compromised by external pressures. The light of inner peace also shines brightest when we live in alignment with our values and purpose. When we are living authentically, doing what we love, and pursuing what truly matters to us, we feel at peace with ourselves. We no longer feel disconnected or lost. Instead, we feel a deep sense of fulfillment and contentment. When we are aligned with our purpose, we are at peace with the journey, knowing that we are moving in the direction of our highest good. To cultivate inner peace, we must also learn to live with gratitude. Gratitude shifts our focus from what is lacking to what is abundant in our lives. When we are grateful, we attract more of what we desire, and we feel a deep sense of appreciation for the present moment. Gratitude helps us to see the beauty in the ordinary and reminds us that there is always something to be thankful for. By practicing gratitude regularly, we open ourselves to the flow of abundance and create a peaceful, harmonious life. Finally, the light of inner peace requires us to trust in the process of life. Trusting that everything is unfolding as it should allows us to release worry and fear. Trust is the foundation of peace, is the belief that we are supported, guided, and loved by the universe. When we trust, we let go of the need to control or plan every detail of our lives. Instead, we surrender to the flow of life and allow things to unfold naturally. Trusting the process of life creates space for miracles, growth, and peace. Inner peace is not something that we find outside of ourselves. It is something that we cultivate from within. It is the natural state of our being, and it is available to us at any moment. By practicing mindfulness, acceptance, forgiveness, gratitude, and trust, we can tap into the infinite light of inner peace. This peace is not dependent on external circumstances. It is an internal wellspring that we can access any time. The more we align ourselves with this peace, the more we radiate it outward, creating a ripple effect of harmony and love in the world. As we continue to explore the profound essence of inner peace, we begin to understand that it is not a fleeting emotion or a temporary state. Inner peace is a foundation and unshakable core that, when fully realized, becomes the bedrock upon which we build our lives. It allows us to weather any storm, remain steady amidst chaos, and navigate life with a sense of calm and purpose. Living with inner peace means living without the constant need for validation or approval. In our culture, we are often taught that our worth is determined by what we accomplish, how much we achieve, or what others think of us. This external focus causes us to become anxious, restless, and disconnected from the truth of who we are. But true inner peace comes when we release the need for external validation. We realize that we are worthy simply by existing, and that our true value is not tied to what we do or how others perceive us. When we no longer seek approval from others, we free ourselves to live authentically. We stop conforming to societal expectations, and we begin to follow our own path with confidence and grace. This authenticity nurtures our inner peace, as we no longer have to wear a mask or pretend to be someone we are not. Instead, we embrace who we are in each moment, knowing that our true essence is enough. One of the key elements in fostering inner peace is cultivating self-compassion. So often, we are our own harshest critics, constantly judging ourselves for our mistakes, imperfections, and perceived flaws. However, self-compassion allows us to approach ourselves with kindness, understanding, and patience. It is the practice of treating ourselves with the same love and care that we would offer a dear friend. By nurturing ourselves with compassion, we create an environment in which peace can flourish. We stop holding ourselves to impossible standards and instead accept ourselves fully. imperfections and all. Self-compassion also allows us to release the burden of guilt and shame. Guilt and shame are heavy weights that keep us trapped in the past, preventing us from moving forward. When we practice self-compassion, we understand that we are human, that we make mistakes, and that those mistakes do not define us. We forgive ourselves for past actions, knowing that we are doing the best we can with the knowledge and resources available to us at any given time. In this space of forgiveness, we free ourselves from the emotional baggage that drags us down and make room for inner peace to settle in. In the journey toward inner peace, we also learn the importance of boundaries. Boundaries are the sacred lines we draw around our time, energy, and well-being. They protect us from being drained or overwhelmed by others' demands, and they ensure that we honor our own needs. When we fail to set healthy boundaries, we allow others to dictate our energy and our emotions. But when we practice setting boundaries, we reclaim our personal power and create a space for peace to thrive. Boundaries are not about shutting others out. They are about protecting our own peace and ensuring that we have the energy to show up fully in our lives. The ability to stay present in the moment is another critical aspect of cultivating inner peace. The mind is often consumed by thoughts of the past and the future, but the present moment is where life truly happens. When we dwell in the past, we relive old hurts, regrets, and missed opportunities. When we worry about the future, we become anxious about what might go wrong. But when we remain in the present, we experience life exactly as it is, without the mental clutter that pulls us in different directions. Presence brings us into alignment with the flow of life, where peace resides. Practicing presence allows us to fully engage with our lives, to connect with the people around us, and to experience joy in even the smallest moments. It is through presence that we can find peace in the ordinary, whether it's a quiet moment with a loved one, the feeling of the sun on our skin, or the sound of a gentle breeze. These simple, everyday moments are where peace lives, and when we practice presence, we unlock the beauty of life in all its forms. In the quest for inner peace, it's also important to recognize the role of acceptance. Acceptance is the antidote to resistance, and resistance is one of the greatest obstacles to peace. When we resist what is happening in our lives, whether it's a difficult situation or an uncomfortable emotion, we create inner turmoil. However, when we accept life as it is, without judgment or the need to change it, we allow peace to flow freely. Acceptance does not mean we approve of everything that happens, but it means we choose to stop fighting against the flow of life. It means releasing the need for control and surrendering to the present moment. Alongside acceptance, trust is another cornerstone of inner peace. Trusting the process of life means believing that everything happens for a reason, even when we can't understand it in the moment. Trust is the understanding that there is a greater plan at work, and that even the challenges we face are part of our growth. Trust allows us to let go of anxiety, to stop worrying about the future, and to embrace the unfolding of life with confidence and peace. When we trust, we allow life to work for us, not against us. Another powerful practice for nurturing inner peace is cultivating gratitude. Gratitude shifts our focus from what is lacking to what is abundant. When we are grateful for the blessings in our lives, we align ourselves with the energy of abundance and peace. Gratitude transforms our perception of life. It helps us to see the good, even in difficult situations, and reminds us that there is always something to be thankful for. The more we practice gratitude, the more peace we invite into our lives. Finally, to fully embody the light of inner peace, we must learn to let go of fear. Fear is one of the greatest barriers to peace, keeps us trapped in the past, anxious about the future, and disconnected from the present moment. But when we let go of fear, we create space for peace to enter. Letting go of fear means trusting ourselves, trusting the universe, and knowing that everything is happening exactly as it should. It is through letting go of fear that we free ourselves from the anxiety that disturbs our peace and step into the calm and clarity that come with trusting in life. Chapter 20. The Sacred Journey of Becoming. The sacred journey of becoming is the process of aligning with our highest potential and stepping into the fullness of who we are meant to be. It is the path of self-discovery, growth, and transformation. To become is to evolve, to embrace change, and to step into a life that is authentically ours. The journey of becoming is not about reaching a specific destination. It is about experiencing the unfolding of our true selves and living in harmony with our deepest desires and purpose. Becoming begins with the recognition that we are already whole. Too often, we look outside of ourselves for validation, approval, or completeness. We believe that we must acquire something, be it success, love, or material possessions, in order to feel fulfilled. However, true fulfillment comes from recognizing that we are already complete in our essence. The journey of becoming is not about acquiring something new. It is about rediscovering who we already are and aligning our lives with that truth. The first step in the sacred journey of becoming is self-awareness is the key to understanding who we are, what we desire, and what we need in order to grow. It is the process of looking within, of reflecting on our thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and motivations. Self-awareness helps us to identify what is working in our lives and what needs to change. It allows us to see where we are holding ourselves back and where we are ready to step forward. By cultivating such a foundation, we create the foundation for transformation. Once we are aware of who we are, we can begin to release the aspects of ourselves that no longer serve us. The journey of becoming often involves shedding old identities, beliefs, and habits that keep us stuck in the past. These old patterns may have once served us, but as we grow and evolve, they become obstacles to our true self-expression. The courage to release the old and embrace the new is essential on this path. By letting go of what no longer serves us, we create space for the person we are becoming to emerge. One of the most powerful aspects of the journey of becoming is the practice of self-compassion. As we embark on this journey, we will encounter challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. It is essential to treat ourselves with kindness and patience during these times. Self-compassion allows us to embrace our imperfections and see them as opportunities for growth. It is through self-compassion that we can move through our struggles with grace. Knowing that each challenge is a part of our evolution, becoming also requires us to trust in the process of life. Trusting the journey means letting go of the need for immediate results and allowing life to unfold in its own time. Often we are impatient for things to happen, wanting to reach our goals quickly and with little resistance. However, the sacred journey of becoming teaches us that everything happens in divine timing. It is the willingness to surrender control and trust that the universe will bring us exactly what we need, exactly when we need it. When we trust the process, we release the pressure to achieve and allow ourselves to enjoy the journey. Another important aspect of becoming is living authentically. To live authentically is to express ourselves fully, without fear of judgment or rejection. It is about showing up as our true selves, free from the masks or personas we may have created to fit in or gain approval. Authenticity requires vulnerability, as it means allowing others to see us as we truly are, flaws, imperfections, and all. When we live authentically, we align with our deepest values and desires, and we create a life that feels true to who we are. Authenticity is a key ingredient in the journey of becoming, as it allows us to step into our full potential. The journey of becoming is also about embracing the unknown. The unknown is often a source of fear and anxiety, as it represents uncertainty and change. However, the sacred journey of becoming requires us to step into the unknown with faith and courage. When we embrace the unknown, we open ourselves to new possibilities, new experiences, and new growth. The unknown is where magic happens, where we step outside of our comfort zones and discover new strengths, talents, and aspects of ourselves. By embracing the unknown, we free ourselves from the constraints of the familiar and allow ourselves to grow beyond what we thought possible. Another essential aspect of becoming is the practice of patience. Transformation takes time, and the journey of becoming is not always linear. There will be times of rapid growth, and there will be times of stillness. Both are necessary parts of the journey. Patience allows us to trust the process, knowing that every step we take, no matter how small, is bringing us closer to our highest self. It is through patience that we learn to appreciate the journey itself, and not just the destination. By cultivating patience, we remain steady and grounded, even when the path seems unclear. As we journey toward becoming, we must also learn to embrace our imperfections. Perfection is an illusion, and the pursuit of perfection often leads to frustration and self-doubt. The sacred journey of becoming teaches us that it is through our imperfections that we grow and evolve. Our flaws, mistakes, and struggles are part of what makes us human. They are the very things that shape us and give us the wisdom we need to move forward. By embracing our imperfections, we allow ourselves to be fully present in the journey, knowing that we are enough just as we are. The final step in the sacred journey of becoming is to embrace the idea of continuous growth. The journey does not end when we reach a particular goal or achieve a certain level of success. Becoming is a lifelong process, one that evolves as we do. Each chapter of our lives presents new opportunities for growth, and the journey of becoming is about remaining open to these opportunities. It is about continually expanding our consciousness, learning new things, and becoming more aligned with our highest potential. The sacred journey of becoming is not about reaching a final destination. It is about embracing the journey itself. It is about living with purpose, authenticity, and love. It is about stepping into the fullness of who we are and becoming the person we were always meant to be. The journey may be challenging at times, but it is through the challenges that we grow, learn, and evolve. As we continue on this sacred path, we realize that the journey of becoming is the greatest gift we can give ourselves, because in becoming, we unlock our true potential and align with the divine flow of life. As we continue on this sacred journey of becoming, it becomes clear that the path is not linear. It is filled with both light and shadow, growth and struggle, ease and challenge. Each step we take on this journey is part of the unfolding of who we are meant to be. The journey of becoming is about embracing each moment with faith, trust, and gratitude, knowing that everything is leading us toward our highest good. There are no mistakes, only lessons, and each experience is an integral part of our growth. The sacred journey of becoming requires us to align with our true essence. To do this, we must be willing to peel back the layers of conditioning, limiting beliefs, and external influences that have shaped who we think we are. So often we get lost in the expectations of others, society's standards, and the pressures to be something we are not. But the true path of becoming is about rediscovering who we are at the core. Beneath all the masks and roles we have assumed, as we remove the false layers of identity, we connect more deeply with our intuition, our inner wisdom, and our purpose. This process of shedding the old and embracing the new is not always easy. It requires courage, vulnerability, and trust in the unknown. But it is only by letting go of what no longer serves us that we can make room for the person we are becoming. Evolution comes when we stop trying to fit into a mold and instead allow ourselves to bloom into who we are meant to be. Another essential part of this sacred journey is the ability to forgive. Forgiveness is an act of release. It is the ability to let go of past hurts, regrets, and resentments that keep us anchored in the past. Holding on to grudges or feelings of bitterness prevents us from moving forward and growing. Forgiveness is not about excusing the actions of others, but about freeing ourselves from the emotional hold that these experiences have over us. When we forgive, we release the negative energy that keeps us stuck and open ourselves to new experiences, relationships, and opportunities. Forgiveness is also about accepting our own mistakes and learning from them. We are all imperfect beings, and the journey of becoming involves embracing both our strengths and weaknesses. When we forgive ourselves, we give ourselves permission to grow. We stop punishing ourselves for past mistakes and instead view them as opportunities for learning and evolution. This self-compassion allows us to move forward with clarity and confidence, knowing that every step, no matter how challenging, brings us closer to our true self. A key aspect of becoming is also learning to trust the process of life. We often try to force outcomes, wanting to control every aspect of our journey. But true evolution occurs when we trust that life is unfolding exactly as it should. The universe has its own timing and its own wisdom. When we let go of the need to control, we allow life to work with us, rather than against us. Trusting the process means knowing that even when things don't go as planned, we are still being guided toward our highest potential. It is through trust that we find peace in the uncertainty and surrender to the divine timing of our journey. The sacred journey of becoming also requires us to step into our power. Too often, we underestimate our own potential, thinking that we are not capable of achieving our dreams or making a significant impact. But the journey of becoming is about recognizing that we are powerful beyond measure. We have within us everything we need to succeed, create, and live a meaningful life. Stepping into our power means letting go of self-doubt and embracing the truth that we are deserving of all the greatness the universe has to offer. It is about taking responsibility for our own happiness, growth, and success, knowing that we have the ability to shape our own destiny. Living the journey of becoming also means embracing the law of impermanence. Life is always changing, and so are we. The person we are today is not the person we will be tomorrow. This constant evolution is what makes life rich and beautiful. By accepting the impermanence of life, we learn to embrace change with grace. We no longer resist it or fear it, but we welcome it as a natural part of the process of growth. Change is what keeps us alive, vibrant, and evolving, and when we embrace it, we open ourselves to endless possibilities. The sacred journey of becoming also involves living with intention. To live intentionally is to choose our actions, thoughts, and behaviors with purpose and clarity. It means consciously deciding who we want to be and what kind of life we want to create. When we live with intention, we are no longer reacting to life, but actively shaping it. This intentionality gives us direction and focus, ensuring that we are moving toward the life that aligns with our deepest desires and values. It is through intentional living that we create a life that is rich in meaning and fulfillment. Another important aspect of becoming is learning to embrace vulnerability. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but it is actually a great strength. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we open ourselves to deeper connection with others and to greater vulnerability requires courage because it involves showing up as our true selves, without the need for masks or facades. It is through vulnerability that we form authentic relationships, heal from past wounds, and expand our capacity for love and compassion. The more we embrace our vulnerability, the more we step into our true power. Finally, the sacred journey of becoming is about living in harmony with the universe. The universe is always working in our favor, guiding us toward our highest good. When we align with this flow, we experience ease and grace in our journey. Living in harmony with the universe means trusting that everything is unfolding as it should and that we are always supported. It is the recognition that we are part of a greater whole, and that our journey is not just about us. It is about contributing to the greater good of the world around us. The journey of becoming is sacred, because it is a journey of transformation. It is the process of stepping into the fullness of who we are meant to be, embracing the unknown, trusting the process, and aligning with the energy of the universe. As we walk this path, we grow, evolve, and become the highest expression of ourselves. The sacred journey of becoming is not a destination, it is a continuous unfolding, a sacred dance with life, and the greatest gift we can give ourselves. In the quiet moments of reflection, we often search for the answers to life's most important questions. What defines success? What sustains us when the road grows long and the obstacles seem insurmountable? It is in these moments of introspection that we come to understand one simple truth. Success is not born from talent alone. It is nurtured through perseverance, through an unwavering commitment to our goals, even when the path is unclear, and the journey stretches on endlessly. You, dear traveler, are about to embark on a journey not of quick triumphs or fleeting victories, but of steady, unyielding effort. You are about to unlock the power of grit, the quiet but unstoppable force that propels you forward, day after day, year after year. Grit is not just the ability to endure, it is the ability to rise after each fall, to find strength in your failures, and to keep moving, even when the world tells you to stop. It is passion with perseverance, the combination of heart and hustle that will guide you to your dreams. Imagine, for a moment, the steady flame of a candle. It flickers, yes, but it does not die. The wind may howl, the air may shift, but that flame persists, unwavering, through the darkness. This is the essence of grit, an inner strength that burns steady even when the storm threatens to snuff it out. In this quiet persistence, in this refusal to give up, lies the power to achieve what once seemed impossible. As you begin this journey, know that it is not the sudden bursts of energy that will define you, but the small, consistent actions, taken day in and day out, that will lead you to your goal. The world may celebrate the quick rise, the instant success, but true achievement is forged in the slow, patient build. It is found in the countless hours of effort that no one sees, in the quiet moments when you choose to continue, despite the doubts, the failures, and the fatigue. Success does not belong to the quickest, the smartest, or the most naturally talented. It belongs to those who refuse to quit, who keep going when others give up, who find meaning in the long, difficult journey. In this space, I invite you to let go of the need for immediate results, to release the pressure of perfection, and to embrace the power of persistence. This is not a race. There is no finish line in sight, only the path ahead, a path that will require all of you. It will demand your focus, your energy, and your belief in the long-term rewards of your efforts. But know this, as long as you remain committed, as long as you stay true to your vision, no setback can defeat you. Grit is not about forcing your way to the top. It is about finding your rhythm in the process, about learning to love the climb as much as the summit. It is about choosing to continue, even when the journey is long, even when the rewards are not immediate. Grit is the refusal to give up, the quiet resolve that fuels your passion and transforms your challenges into stepping stones. As you move forward, let this invocation serve as a reminder that the strength to persist lies not in some grand moment of inspiration, but in the quiet choices you make every single day. The power of grit resides in your ability to keep going, one step at a time, toward your highest aspirations. It is in the moments when you feel like quitting that you will find the true measure of your strength, and it is in these moments that grit is born. May this journey open your eyes to the extraordinary power of ordinary effort, to the magic of slow, steady progress. Let every obstacle be an invitation to dig deeper, to press on with even more determination. Know that you are capable of achieving greatness, not by running faster, but by keeping your feet planted, your heart steady, and your spirit unwavering. In this moment, you are already on the path of grit. Trust the process, trust the journey, and most importantly, trust yourself.